zare Migos kere kurwana mono kurwa sensi ya Kenya kwa ujumla kurwa sorongo rwa Gusii tubwate kendo tokwegokeria especially kurwa service
Biamono asili swali elio tigangase gotebanga sector ya amasomo Kenya gaiga yego affect kera ensemo ya Kenya ngima.
Yes.
Amangana alia okorekana chinsemo chinde ase Kenya ase ensemo yechisemi nara okorekana gaiga Gusii engima. Ekera naso etobisi una bali bandi murainyore nanyorete emichande mengi sana irase sector ya masomo. Egentu igetanga ni nanyorete nkiringa kurwa nat wocha kupet pake university wasu abarimu obare nkogenda chistrike useme goma ikabanga ne jukumu ya ne ntangani ko make sure nga emegoma iri akorire ya erire ekegere kere megoma korekana tiri korekana nse memo yokorekana paka Gusii so kara tu solve the problem ya megoma iri into solve the problem ya megoma paka Gusii iyo ngekine gente kemo Gusii ya nyorete ase ogoswa kwana ase gasi na kuendera gukora magendera riare ase school education sector komenda nayo ntu anyorete nga ekere serikali yachete igasobisi egende problem entanga yanyorete ase umfumo uri muya o competence based education ja togetenga abantu abange including abalimu including parents was stakeholders wants be education but what the problem ya competence based education ikera abana bari kwenda grade 9 kuru grade 8 konyora mbabwate ebirasi bisaine bikwagachwa elinde basoya grade 9 igabidi nga serikali yagache birasi ikagache birasi 23,000 23
yes.
Elinde abana bali banyara gosoa grade 9 in the year 2025 January inere gasina kolete bunda tu alikuwa gacha ebirasi 23,000 Kenya ngima na Gusii kolete biagachire ekara tu ajita sense moye chi university e problem ya rengoro ni problem ya funding model koranga limo nyorete ya lete the problem sana kyare gendongere kyare ngo kyare ko banding
yes
asa abana bari kubekwa se band 1 2 3 and 4 ekara the problem enene kyara abana bande bari kubekwa banding kitare ngechiabo go kitare kulingana na uwezo yao ikabidi president korosia ejopo yari kurunga review team eka review egentugeliki yari kurunga the means testing instrument korosia means testing instrument iria ebe ngare ili kunyara kubeka abana ase batakire koba so datekara bagotenga baka ne school fees baka neria ebarengete kulingana na uwezo yabo so ekara tu akolete that analysis tukakora tukayerosia ekara tu anyora abana bagocha university in the year 2025 September to solve the problem eyo abana bagasoa school ya eminetinga una bari gokonya Kenya ngima na Gusii koleteki mbakonyege tororo komenda nayo ase university karatu wala kora that review kanyora school fees wakanwa tuition ase university injarenge no mochoko muya tukai review paka bono iga tukaiwana ni stakeholder chonsi including university inga ekara abana bagocha university egera batuare access to education across the board a program were most expensive ilia igor kabisa abana bano bawakana shilingi 75,000 ni ilia izi kabisa abana bawakana shilingi 5,800 iyi minitinga bono ase university abana baitu babwata capacity yokwenda chi school echo university chikera school fees ya very rationalized na bonere affordable na baba parents bakunya afford abana konyora chi chibese china gosoa chi school so buna konya Kenya ngima na Gusii abana ambaga ndreto konya ka komenda nayo ase amang'ana y'abalimu egatoka ng'a tubwate abalimu egap y'abalimu Kenya engima y'abalimu 116,000 1116
Yes.
twalikira abalimu 1,100 ase Gusii iga ase abalimu bali 1,100 balikiru Kenya engima Gusii abalimu baroro balikiru zaidi ya 10,000 kuru Gusii iga ase balia 1,100 so buna toko rita abalimu across the country na Gusii iga mbagenda tokora kolikwa egera tukabega gutena abu ase abalimu korwa emyaka eri emikoro egento gekoro guchi promotion abalimu abange obarenge stagnated ase chikwende chigrade chiri chiabo bari ekiagara policy nyari ngororo yo promote abalimu policy yari ngone eri yo replace abalimu after bali bande bataine gose banyaurire natural attrition gose barurororo kwa sababu ya magonjwa ama vitu zingine. Serikali ya William Ruto ekabeka policy yo increase chibese chiria chitakere gutumika ase promotion.
Yes.
The year 24-25 tukabeka 1 billion, the year 25-26 tukabeka 2 billion cha promotion. Because of that, abalimu baka promoted over 50,000. Itanya gukoreka kuru 1963. This is the first time abalimu were promoted across the board. Abalimu na wako promoted Kenya ngima na Gusii iga narong go promote ukari. Ekana chito bisi nkanyora ngachi school chito chiri chikuru kunga national schools ose C1 schools igarantu achenjia mvumu. Gusii iga school chialenge ose ninye chuka isano actually. Chuka chialenge national schools. Upgrade school chito by 9. Onege tubwate zaidi ya school 13 chire national schools. Kere school national school konyora abana kire nsemo konyora bali chibesi nyinge mono konyora bali abalimu abange mono irinde economy yatena guchigoro. So ase magana ya education.
Yes.
Buna Kenya ko improve na Gusii nero naenda to improve. Unaona igangwa gacha tori laboratories chire 1,600 Kenya 1,100. Iga Gusii nyamira naga iga chi labs ngoja kwa gachu chire zaidi ya 30 asi chire 1,600. Nene analysis ya kore tuko achi laboratories asi chi school ya tabwa laboratory no ya kegere abana batu kinganda babwata ase baokora their practicals chi science. Mmeto mvumo ntu achenjia kurwa 844 into competency based education. The competency based education ige go support abana through talents nege ndugiria abana batagete gukora na skills babwate. Mvumo oyo bwate chipatu gosinjira chire isato enjira ya mone ya STEM ekuru science nene ya social sciences na arts abantu bali bachokoba buna abawakili n'abantu bande buna abalimu yekuru social sciences na sports and arts sports science and arts erona eri mvumuga ugatatu kera abana tu transition ya abana kuru grade 9 gocha grade 10 abana 60% about 59% ba choose ko genda as a STEM abana 38% waka choose okora again tokoro ka social sciences 10% wa choose okora sports science eminatinga omvumo oyo mwana ondete iyo ule muliri gosutanya ariko nyore ndamba karatele okora via science na bakora social sciences karatele okora via social sciences na bakora sports or arts so that bono enjire ya competence based mwana tayo gutgara sipomo yo gure engenjeria 844 ya gokorekana une okonya abana bonse Kenya na gusiga ina na koreteke tegeta so into ne vinge twanyarire gukora ase serikali ya Kenya kwanza ya William Ruto egendete gotokonya across the country ne policy togendete kubeka chosi chingia for instance elikotara step in ekara transition ya abana kuru grade 9 gocha grade 10 at the time konya transition ya abana bali 97% asi bali 1.1 million bakorete twanyoreta abana bande baragenda school asing in bintu bibere uniform na some of the school fees. The president gateba Ibeka as a policy mwana taba so sell school asing uniform uza asing school fees. Igo to manage go transition ni abana bonse una to kwa na galero. Abana bali ba grade 9 ba grade 10 to a transition over 99.7%. Just a small percentage break 100% because of attrition and other things.
Yes.
Lakini this is the highest transition. Kuru high school, kuru primary, goja high school, one aspect grade 10. Bagoja primary, grade 12 in 2029, or also a university.
Yes.
So, to make registered chinene as a magana education, Kenya.
Yes.
I know that all Konya kirase na usingo Konya ke. A budget ya renge ya education. Kara Kenya kwanza ya into office in 2022. Ya renge 500 billion. 500 billion. In the year 2024, 2025, Kanyore have raised from 500 billion to 702 billion. This year, 25-26, the financial year 25-26, budget education is at 767 billion, which is almost 29% GDP budget yes. So education una to increase nationally na usida gana enda to karaki
Yes.
Ko increase so kentonke we kana ase sector ya amasomo geteri okorekana usi asa mana TVET.
Yes.
For example a policy ya serikali nelinga kuikatutwale TVET yamo pre constituency in Kisiga to what in almost all the constituencies except 3 in the next financial year, that is Bonchari. South Mugirango, actually, to South Mugirango is going on. It's one of the ones we are going to see. President Kebucha is required. That is Bonchari na Machoge Boramu. As I said, it got good. Take came to City Tangan for my TVET.
Yes.
To make a decision in her, I want to TVET institutions by it. Serikali iko into power ya William Ruto atu arenge confirm dia bana bare school chichitive Kenya ngima barenge 297,000 na bana bakasana chichitive because akara tukuira bana chi university okonyara tukuira 28% maximum 72% na bobana to so chi institution chichitive abana bale university bale over 1 million. Kama konyora baras kitibete barenge 297. It was a misnomer. Ya linking into inverted. So serikali ikatengeneza policy nga wekatorisi abana bali bale TVET ko 297 to 2 million by the end of this financial year. As we speak today, we are at 800,000 students or learners in those institutions.
Yes.
TVET yingo konyajira abana wethikera mbwango bagosoma banyora skills basokasko skills which watumia konyora daily income so there's so many things
Yes.
that we have done as a ministry of education to stabilize a ministry egere abantu baitu baso konyora benefit kuroro chitakeire.
Yes.
So this is what we've been doing na ende natebanga kendi gyonse nationally. It also benefits Kisii because we distribute the resources across the board.
Kisii and Nyamira.
Kisii and Nyamira, sorry, Gusii.
Yes.
Gusii.
Diamono sana.
Gusii.
I want to give my colleagues Siribagababu one or two about the education sector. Lakini gwatanga chipese chingo chichire comment to 767 billion, initially charing 500 billion. Could someone guessing that is the reason challenges chiarengo, and now you are saying most of them chianyara koba gosi tuarore most of them chianyara koba chigo chaka koba solved, including funding modeling, a placement, including a transition ya abanafunzi because mheshimiwa initially tuara igatia aborokia gosaba alimu bechi school bagatanga they don't know how they are going to admit abanafunzi abaso grade 9. Chipese chia mentera na chia make that change to 700 billion.
Partly yes and partly no. What happened is buna miaka konya kugenda enamba ya abana kwendra ko increase, which means proportionately we can increase nature.
Yes.
So there is that process. Lakini what also happened is that as a education sector there were even a lot of wastage. There was a lot of hemorrhage, wastage in Migos Gusii. It was a lot of wastage in the resources.
Yes.
So in September last year, for example, the ministry had said okora verification exercise, okora census. Ya bana tubuate ngambalenga, chi school tubuate irenga. Ekara tu akora exercise kiria. Ewo tu anyoranga abana mbali barengoro, as for example, secondary, abana bare kubarwa bare 7,000 lakini barengoro. Eka make it possible, the ministry can save almost 900 million chagachire to waste. This system which to avekire because we introduced a digital system, a digital computer, a chemist, Kenya Education Management Information System. As it go feeds data ye mwana ileta yaye school government date of birth, onye kare female, onye kare male, a grade and all that. To grow, to cross check, and with other institution chinde unaone chabosha. To amanya make sure nga mwana tayo tebekanga nala oro itakole dik utayo to reduce that number to a clean up that. Governance ine to konyete to reduce stress chiko genda as a West, and because of it, we were able to release capitation 3 days before the school started. For the first time since capitation started, we managed to release capitation chito school in mwaka 2026 in January kwenye school chitara. This time also, which is the second term, go and follow around the same. To release capitation, the school chitara when you think a kero mwaka kira litu kere ngaki wana capitation traja only can take it to solve keve a problem of the past because of the verification exercise that we did, because of even to introduce it,
700 billion each much 767. Do you feel nganchire enough to manage the education sector?
The truth of the matter is nga bese jinjanya guisana njanya guikachisane ikera even though neving yokore kana school lakini during international standard, using international standard ili gwenda takoba what we call the UNESCO education standard etakere ense yatumia 20% of its budget as education was say a sector education 20%. Kenya is already spending 28%, 20 to 29%. We are above the UNESCO international standard, which means we can want to look inwards. I got to be more efficient. Yani, to west to west, to go chance, to manage what to correct. In Kubwa, I got to go wested, Konya and Chirkonya, Konya, but we are working day and night. Make sure nga even to biro, for example, biro too costly because of the way we call it. We want uniform. Yes. Okonyora was a school get out and uniform chavana, it was 57,000, 37,000. So one of the thing we will study to analyze. I got to control the cost of uniforms. Una tu akole te vitabu. Before to try centralize vitabu we to distribute ya savana, vitabu we akaguru kurwa ti bookshop. Mo parental te ngende bookshop get or get up get. If that will be a cost maybe 600-700 shillings get up weka. I got to centralize vitabu we ko kurwa mo bia mnyakwa distributed. The cost vitabu will be a chance pa almost 300 shillings. Egere kero mwana atu ari get up kiai. So the ratio you get up to mwana now is 1:1. Yes. So even uniforms, that's what we are going to do. I got to centralize to work towards ensuring that parents in Barikov exploited work on a uniform chifika chitakoleti ite usichiri goromono. Ikere problem here are candidate and they kereka waige wana Bariko nyara kwenda school kwa nyaro mwana oseli ukuru school. Keroza mwana kure school you will be violating a constitution. Yes. Article 53 egotebango pana Kenya gaiga education is free abana awene also. So we are working with so many moving parts to make sure that we solve the problem abana batoke nga twabere for sure nga kero mwana kwenda ale school
Emono sana nganchere nga wali kiba mintoli baga brand HIV vocation.
Waziri mbia muna asinga nchogwa kwanire igoro yechi TVET na uno ntete go chakira. Bwangoiga serikali njanyara ko bage ko beko ese igo soko bwatana no buma bwa bora European Union ne chinsa chinde na Germany na France ase kwa enegatiyo ko be kwa nsese wechi million euro 41.85 million euros umuro byo lengete go digitize ose ko beka abokoreri ase TVET ko bo bwekerero digitalization project otwanchire waziri rero tukuigimeria ke buno mugusi ase project ya somoro byo TVET rwasoro kunkuru basi naki chiagesere ose chikageire kogesa kurwase moro byo.
What is the data guy? But what I can confirm for you, the digitization project is going to be used across the country on a number of TVETs. I'll ask my team to check for me as we are speaking. We'll let you know. Chakisiga is actually part of that project. I think about 2 or 3 of them. They are part of that project, as there are many others across the country. But what is important is that a program where chemists in Kenya Education Information Management System, chemists, ito have a one-stop shop for the education sector, so including TVET. So there is a module TVET can log into to add their own programs as at chemists. Chemists here basic education, TVET, and universities. And they what module choose, including module chair procurement, including module chair distribution tab. So that they can to a confirming abana to what, for example, they were million kumina moja to a confirm. Abana wale Kenya kaya kuru ECD paka from grade 1 to grade 9 are 11 million. Onye to publish vitab, to print vitab. Nto baso print vitab very 15 million in one subject because yabana wale 11 million. So if you try to print more, a system will lock because it means who are you printing these books for? So we have created a system where enambelio mwana abwate nera kugendera through the education system. So that take arawika kwa ramate onye baso ete grade 1 abana wale 1 million. We expect take around in grade 9, by 1 million, subject to attrition, you know, the normal attrition changes, or Pintugunde. Because Konyoranga, Avana Varenge, 1 million in Form 1, a Kinekarao to Koramatem, Umakonyara 1.3 million. We can to explain yes 300,000. The system will look and will be able to show you what is happening. So we are actually leveraging on the digitalization program across the ministry, kotokonya ko reduce the human contact eventually no by the way IRKCSC we are intending eventually to have them done digitally so that by the time psychometric test by the time results so anyora they are going to be digital so that what number yao the system will indicate school way. So digitization we are spending and the World Bank is supporting us to ensure that the system to reduce wastage, to be more efficient in the country as a sector, and it is working. We're already seeing it. We're already seeing it work. The system we need to transition. Grade 9 grade 10. By the time we are done 88%. Lakini pale wakadanga nani to a chance to admit but next time the system will admit the transition of the students 100%. As a monta tali okaraki atali osemikera wana school community karwa kodama tem ekerama results cha sokire ya work towards ya so strong ya allocate school
Ngemono sana Matilda said kema tutaragenderera kumanyunga toka siseme ya kabiri studio in 30 seconds egera tumakoira na tugenderera mone nkwana no mwaziri Julius Migos Ogamba yogendeta gutwarira mange anemo igoro yetaro maraibensi ya Kenya nabo igo sector HCM ya sensi ya Kenya ayonsi nasika getali getano
Agakoreka korwa sensemo ya siasa amo nuburai korwa se chisemi obochenu oboremi korwa sensemo yemesa yobonchororia gwikase mesa yechigosori ninkomanyayo siasenchera yobokiranu kera litukoria Jumamosi botuko ime yetaya weekendi ochakera chinsa ibere ne chinsa inye na inche Sara Nyarangi ontita inyora eyemere taya TV oborabu bwa Gusii.
TV oborabu bwa Gusii. Bosio wetaro ya yomure wense imejero ngoro Gusii nigobono turakoretere enkwana ejemo aseyemo nomo waziri wechisemi honorable Julius Migos Ogamba igoro wetaro ya yomure wense inyorabuna enkwana yenigerare tu ejemo aseyemo litukuri Jumamosi ikeyega umukinyego kane ochakera enseyemo jideka emerongeto chiabutko eriyomanya nararia ya serikali roberetia omure wense nikera chukirania na nikieke babegete bosio asokukinia orgongoro Gusii tomo chakotengera enkwane eyemo aseyemo litukuri Jumamosi kurasigatene kiao ekebwanjete enseyemo yamarwana jideka emerongeto tengera mwensi muigwe nararia ya orgongoro Gusii ruabekeru ensemo anemona sugikirania amagenderero. Bosio wetaro ya yomure wense imejero ngoro Gusii nigobono turakoretere enkwana ejemo aseyemo nomo waziri wechisemi honorable Julius Migos Ogamba igoro wetaro ya yomure wense inyorabuna enkwana yenigerare tu ejemo aseyemo litukuri Jumamosi ikeyega umukinyego kane ochakera enseyemo jideka emerongeto chiabutko eriyomanya nararia ya serikali roberetia omure wense nikera chukirania na nikieke babegete bosio asokukinia orgongoro Gusii tomo chakotengera enkwane eyemo aseyemo litukuri Jumamosi kurasigatene kiao ekebwanjete enseyemo yamarwana jideka emerongeto tengera mwensi muigwe nararia ya orgongoro Gusii ruabekeru ensemo anemona sugikirania amagenderero. TV oborabu bwa Gusii.
Kuna agakoreka korwa sensemo ya siasa amo nuburai korwa se chisemi obochenu oboremi korwa sensemo yemesa yobonchororia gwikase mesa yechigosori ninkomanyayo siasenchera yobokiranu kera litukoria Jumamosi botuko ime yetaya weekendi ochakera chinsa ibere ne chinsa inye na inche Sara Nyarangi ontita inyora eyenereta ya TV oborabu bwa Gusii.
Etaya TV oborabu bwa Gusii.
Ya sana mwanchomo ligereri na baigo mo tegereri buna tuachika ukumanyia boli tangani togenderete gukwana no waziri Julius Ogamba uyore asenseme gayorongorwa Gusii na yaniga go chachinga ki tigarite chinsa cyokubara gere kumwarigania muraigwensi ya Kenya Dr. William Ruto uyira chikinyara kwa kagutarira chinsemo ao kurwa sorongorwa Gusii na kero twalinge kwenda sumutimoko nigo twalinge kwanira mangana rengete docket ya itsemi egara tumawo chikinyara kwa to kwana igoro yetaro yo muraigwensi ya Kenya lakini bado ntumaite buna that is part of the project so muraigwensa guchikinyara kwa bakago gakoigora na bego chakie chinde ichara chikinyara kwa bakago twairira nchiri chigo chikoigora na guchakiwa lakini ekara twalinge kwenda sumutimoko ngokora kwalinge korwa silibori yawo egara tuswase Matilda
mbia muno waziri ekero kware asenkwana yo tanganira ngwa kwandra igoro yo moroberio OCBE oyo asebono olengete kwene kinga bana nkonyora barubo manyi go hands on skills ekero baragali ase eskuru abaoro kigwa bono basoire grade 10 na ase curriculum design ngo kwanirere meroberio se subject chinde buna bona sensemo ya STEM ndubwate a subject kurunga electricity building and construction mnabona instead of kwandria sports arts and sports sciences ndubwate bintu buna music film amone bintu binde timeti murobeli noro yo oro bwe serikali ko ene kinga eberemeye ko seki subject echi nkworo kigwakire ego kera boro kwaba iko bakagere ko kansera matemo ya KCBE mwaka w'ikirubere 2025 nese totayare ndubwata balimu bakorokia emeremeyu munatogokwana bibona kikegera grade 10 already no bali school
bia mona se liswali elio bananya chae again tukero ronkelinga chi subject chirichi kosomi kubono ega CBE injiri nyia una maybe abantu abange bakolengereria for example a subject iwakwa na ya electricity bali barabali mumaite nga physics ne subject konye koletheki pero na part of physics nere yebwata mangana electricity so it is just retooling the teachers for understanding it is a portion of that physics that has been moved over a different subject so because of that egera toleta bali baito kutuare capacity yogo somia bana baito ba CBE together with TSC we have retooled over 220,000 teachers. Over 220,000 teachers have been retooled koira bana baito as the competency-based education system. Komenta nayo as each subject chire completely new. Una wono metal works usichire a bit on a practical section. One to answer okoregas nechi Tibet ko ensure ngantu bwata bali bakoleteki baisaine. Now what has happened is this. Ekara transition ti abana go cha grade 10. Not about 60% are doing STEM, 38 or 39% are doing social sciences, 10% are doing sports science. We are now able to analyze from these numbers nga inkitumiseti mwino gaiga. In the meantime, we are working with institutions muna nata yabu ne chaba Tibet abalimu go chakabari tool kugendera kosomia so that bone garato chu admit abalimu into the institutions cha teachers training colleges or university to admit ko kora those specific programs depending on the numbers so the numbers are not high ikera talibana bonse ba kora metal work na bora nyara bana ba kora metal work according to the numbers timbo the data here right now ebale maybe total 500 then you need to know abalimu balengota utakere go train per year go train ko kuira ko somia bana bali so that we do not train teachers in subjects that may be asibale overloaded para bange kubwa so we are doing again to harmonization
yes
we are doing harmonization to ensure nga ntole targeted as training yito based on abarimu bari bakorete batakire. So we are doing something about it, lakini bari basoire. The retooling has taken place, and we are working with many institutions, including Simastea, as we train abarimu abakora science, or either physics, because it's a subject. You know, it is just a change of name, but the details are the same. I think maybe if you take biology, for example, chemistry, the formula for water is H2O. So you can call it something, but it is still water, H2O, but in that space. If it is music, we've been having music all the time. So it is a subject that is within what has been being trained with our teachers. Yes. So what I'm saying is that we very tooled. For example, some electricity, tell you mwalimu history. Uko mwalimu physics, ne rogo train akora mana physics, because it's the same subject. This is what we are doing. And to help people understand, in 2019, COVID, COVID yarenge a new disease. Tell you, anywhere. Lakini mwe wetenga doctors in the school was to treat COVID. They were trained in the course because you study the disease genomes and everything else. You have the same it's the same thing to so we are training the balibale on your physics to have a training retooling them to support them during these holidays. And as I said, we have retooled over 220,000. I think more, 229,000 or something. And we retool them every holiday. That space. Moving into the universities, already from last year, September, the university answered to work towards retooling their teachers, which were admitted to university in 2029. So that by the time 2029, the university curriculum lecturer so we are working in tandem to ensure that prepared. The former people who are operating in this system
they were not prepared.
They were not prepared. But we have done to stabilize the direction.
Yes.
Now, school grade 10. Yes. They'll explain to you, understand what is happening, and we are moving well. We now have a clear direction. The ministry has to go.
Yes. And Chere Moy Matilda Libageda Care Magara Tomaso Vincent Karibusan.
Ntubate abarimu bari abaringe basomye buna bono chemistry physics bari asiki school boni gatiterwa first time abarimu biga barakuki bagenda gukora wiki kose leke sekali evaluate na sense moyende ekero to konera CBE as for the special immense bari bamyete ko bari kuna CBE ya kurigego. Yes.
So, a question is currently, a policy is each school has to offer 2 pathways. They have to offer 2 pathways, so it means you offer STEM, social sciences, or STEM with sports science and stuff like that. Like now, we are doing harmonization. We are doing harmonization to see abarimu abanka kaibata kiri na bora nyora abarimu bale skuru ye ebara abange as arts ko STEM ne skuru ende ebara abanga as STEM ko arts egara to rationalize move around harmonization. This school, for example, njiro roko nyora abarimu bara abange ko abana na skuru jinenjiro jipata abarimu abake. So we are harmonizing to move them around to ensure incorporatory proportionality. Yani abantu bare equal to the students that they are having to study. But as I said, school kolere 2 pathways. Another thing, a transition ya tuorogetie, the grade 9 or grade 10, school nchiro I think 300 schools. Chita even a single application. You mwana kwenda school weju. Echinenjiro rocha nyoreta abana bari less than 5, abantu bari less than 10, abantu bari less than 20. So we are now working thoroughly at what can we do with those schools if the thing repeats itself. It's Kuirora is coming here. It means they will not have grade 10, they will not have Form 2, they are from 1 in Jalengo last year. And if it repeats itself, it means they will not have grade 10 next year.
Yes.
So they'll have 3 years to vacant. So we'll make a decision. It's the same thing here. We are rationalizing and moving around.
Yes.
Because you want to employ 100,000. Kenya Kwanza administration in the manifesto 2022 promised to employ 116,000. The employee by this year 100,000. It will take 16,000. 16,000 we are going to employ them in July. Once we employ them in July, a promise ya walimu Kenya Kwanza ya wegete we komuma kitiki ngaya tukaitiri. Now what it has done is to reduce the student ratio in our schools from what it was, which was 1 to 45. Currently, we want to have 1 teacher to 29. The international ratio is 1 teacher to 25. So we are working towards meeting that international ratio. But once we do the rationalization and moving across the schools, so no support to these schools, we will support more school. In other words, what I'm saying,
yes,
gentlemen, is we are no longer to make decisions based on emotion. Yani yoko kubuka kusewata yaka yange school echibeseket. Kosi tigan support a section ye. Kosi tigan support school get. We can base as data. Yani we'll make decisions based on data which can be supported. A decision ye what chingurucha data thing manyeke kuzinga kitokoroka. Chisabu data. Ekera without data you make the wrong decisions. Evidence inero tokocha kutumia to ensure that it works. With respect to special needs schools or special needs institutions, there are 2 programs. The program in Tangani Nelinga, Awana what special needs, chitali too heavy, eba operate chiskuru chirenomo. Tukubere chiskuru chirenomo, although a Karavakonyora support, in comment to buy a bit more money. For example, in secondary schools here to capitation ya 22,240 per student per year. Lakini karole one of the special needs commentary 32,000 shillings on top of that. Ikera there are some devices you take assistant devices to konya korama na masomo. So we are working towards ensuring abana wetu bonspi konyora bale that support. Balibare as a, the disability is too heavy, they go to the special schools with the infrastructure. Chikoba support. Now, they are trained. Course in the universities, go say teacher training colleges. They study which was study for special needs. For the special needs, and I graduate una a special needs teacher. So we are able to now support the students very well. So we are doing something, we are alive to that fact, and using data we'll be deciding supported through special needs special devices assistive devices so that we support them where there is need. Not waking up and, for example, school where maybe one child or a special needs, whatever. So those are the things that we are cleaning up in the ministry, leading them to a situation where there is imbalance.
Yamano sana nganchere mwe oyo mintoke galiboli ekarondoche akwa liboli ekarondocha abantu abangi sana wende to tuligerelia na kukwandira mangana manitra chikinyara ko to sanga mwe karibu sana.
Bia sana Eric nandu waziri njeno nyacha kuna chebata ya bulitangani. Nimbwata mabuli yangata tanaiga probably could like rendo nyare corresponda ana mona semargo yabona. Number 1. Ningan tio kwa nemono igoro yoboka Chiwe University Nyamira. Simply also happen to come from Nyamira County. Obeka subo Lagos University inero go sete yo because of the rumors around you clear the airwaves.
nambabere gwatebire capitation inkorero gochase abaro kiwa chiro 22,000 chiro gochase kiro moro kiase school. And nkoro mole in intervals for the first term more 50% of 22,000 and then 30% second term, 20% on third term. Are you aware na chibe sechi last year nchige 2,000 gochase abaro kiwa so that mwatebere mwaro chibe sa last year. This year mwaro chibe sa ndote abena chiba sechi mwaru eto mwakoyo neli deni mwakanete ya last year like you okwana sanayo. And then liboda nganto kobolina ko muwaziri uchi asomo gusine gento kingenje mono lakini korende is not just ko muwaziri tota to kwegimirya osikorigera chinsemo chingekero tobabwate abarayi balense mesrekali biruge benene mbabwate kiba kwegimiri mono nkioro cha era igatora tebena ki was it not waziri honorable Migosi oseto bisi kango bintu bwati njira nere watemere kuri rongo rwa Gusii ko tema gweteria kerinde ote no mugusi tebana ki on tell Migosi kenkyale gocha kolekana. And last question skuru nchiro rochi ajageta kale kuna skuru lija masima since 1972 getekalete koba sub county school gimora ko skuru nechi konyara kuchikinya ojokoro mushimi basama sword na bwatane liswe lyo molina you took over ekiroge kyobo waziri from your brother na wonko mako your brother because mwalengana nsemeli ya siasa last time. Were you happy taking the position over him? Maybe you can respond that.
Karibu sana waziri.
I don't know whether to start with your last question.
Yes, start anyway.
Was the answer with the first one?
Whichever.
Umanyete mundalu echora gasi. Egasi yogara yogo chorwa. No mwaka machogu nkomo tu alenge na rolenge running for governor. I was running for I was his DG, his running mate. Ekere birogo bikuba kulitagani omonene bwense eprerogative yaye akamoe gasi yogwali yokoba muwaziri wechiseme. After the June issue cha 2024 libateneti kubonsi akange gasi kogendera no negasi ya Ministry of Education yobu waziri. I was very happy to be appointed. There is nothing wrong. Karoko was appointed. Nali kuera nali motevi ngasi ngenjo tachora macho kunenji tintakiti. Unless kole bali motelo. Nenji tindi bali munundi ketigande bali. So I was very happy to be appointed, and I believe na kolere gasi a ministry education buneta kiri. A ministry education tell ministry ya Gusii Gusii. In fact, I advise you kogendo some the oath of office to go swear ekaruko ira office. Li etali korunga Gusii Gusii region indeo stakadiki tiyo. I'm a cabinet secretary for the country. Teneta wana with 1 million. Kumina moja na wantu pale university with 1 million. And I've answered here that whatever achievements to accorded as a ministry,
Yes.
as they benefit other regions, they benefit Gusii. Gusii as a whole. Karato kulika walimu, kulika tora walimu gai. Tinko tena se TV gai gale rombole swali nga kina chinchiti na enerati kwele nenili so private. Kiagara wezo tena national TV otenga nchasi ngenjo no Gusii na irtene ngobuweka kwenda Gusii. You don't do that. And I advise you to kwenye kugulia mwana mnaki. Ala lete problem.
Yeah, true.
Ama ana capitation. Capitation ya very problem Kenya ga forever. Kurugesa ya ansete. In fact, kurugesa capitation ya answer, which is over 10 years. No time. Yeah, meet that threshold here, 22,240 for secondary schools, 15,240 for junior school, 1,430 or 1,420 as a primary. Yeah, primary they meet. The 1,400 has been meeting. Junior is new. We are very matuko talimange. It is also very close to that. Yeah, to a major problem. near 22,240 as the highest I think Yawete paid some 4 or 5 years ago, Yarenge 21,000 or something. Mostly occurring around 18,000, 19,000 or thereabouts. As I said, the problem Yarenge or wrong, I cannot submit a budget yet. Toteva, Avana Tuate Mbaganiga. Asing in Jugan to Ganago Tevitanya Koruki Yarenge Koruku verification. Numbers Chiavana Chiaring Kenya and Chiamanja. Karoko volume monto, Montoka Tevi this number, Montoka Tevi this number. For example, Nanichi secondary schools choker in Kenya. I can acquire volume Montoko Vantoba, Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, we have 10,500 or something secondary schools. We could somebody else yoko in Ambe now. I can do a verification. Each school we found there are 9,540. That's the number of secondary schools. So correct to buate. One on to buate basis you ko argue karata present a budget thing avana to buate mbakaniga. Before Munte you meeting avana bakalete barenga bare. Eyi kageranga no na bantu treasury na parliament waro tebanga mumanyitina inambe. So now ejukumi etobono the ministry we are working towards ensuring kera that's 22,240 ya very reached. We normally release 50% in first term, we release 30% in second term, and 20% in third term. Again, a problem which we are trying to resolve as we speak. You know, a financial year, yes, it could run from June to June. A academic year, yes, school, it could run from January to December. So there is a dark space, there is a gap. We have 50% in term 1, 30% in term 2, 20% in term 3. A 20% area for which financial year? A 30% area for which financial year? So we are now trying to align, we are negotiating the treasury to align our academic year with the financial year, at least for purposes, capitation, so that we can remove those gaps enough resources. So we are doing something about it. The figures we released for this year. We did not release to pay the debts reached previously, because government at that kind of system say this kind of capitation a pending bill. It doesn't become a pending bill, but it is a conversation that will be had at another time. So what we gave is for the current year, and we intend to continue doing it until we resolve that that issue. Yes. So that is what we are doing in that space. Don't know whether I've answered all of them.
Yes, something about Nyamira University.
Yes. Nyamira University. Yes. Nyamira University was mooted in 2012. And in 2012, up to now, is almost, is it 15 years? 14 years. 14 years. Yeah. It has had, in those 14 years, Chi University in lesser years, so there was a problem with Nyamira because of Okovrutana here and there. So I was sworn in on, I think, a Thursday. The president on the Sunday, on the Monday, that is 2024. Yes. August. University a president at the university yachugai. A career presidential directive university yagachu kiabanyoru. But some people after that bagenda kotin. But then university kwa gachoro. Ekina kere kawa kotin almost 1 year. To negotiate with Navarro, baka withdraw. When we went to State House, our State House, I think September 2025, if I'm not wrong. The university, at that point, a president a directive to the Ministry of Defense. The tuition block, Nyamira University, egere the Commission of University Education they go ahead kobe university kera to kwa university onye tubwati the necessary infrastructure muna chi buildings nebinto binde. So we came down immediately, I think after a week or 2 weeks, to break ground in the Minister of Defense, a university, as we speak, back to the excavation, by rules, I think the basement level, there is a floor that is there. I was there the day before yesterday, nabantu kurugaiga abantu ba media mbaro che university yakorete kendreta kwa gacho kyabanyoro school yo kenyene ya very moved to the opposite side of the road bansiri kwa gache birasi orro asabana baho chakoraki kucha ko move to mutinyo gatano weso mutinyo steka rabakolire so that university he admit abana in September this year. Eko mentored na Kisi University guy gas makoleki as mole guy na ba patenere. The university has been allocated 200 million from the Ministry of Defense for that tuition block.
Yes.
But then we have also requested, I think, for 1.5 billion through the normal budgetary allocation. Egere kara ya soire etu arabono its own account US chigendo roya so karaki yes. Quran.
Yes.
So whoever is saying that the university is the same people or the same person. I don't know whether there are many. Those ones who are spreading rumors. These are the same ones. But at the university, ye bo kuru 2012. Ekera kuru 2012 in Chinavero visi mwaka yo. Then na chito after Navero visi 3 days. 3 or 4 days. Ngawa sworn in on Thursday. Ngacha Miron, the president on Monday. It was my first job. It was my first job to be given to do. And I'm going to do it. It is going to be done.
Yes.
The president is coming. We are going to go there. Nera confirming a university. Nera. So bali ba te banga teyo. Bali ke nyangita ali yang. Bali ke ligumuto. Era tokire ang kidogo kabisa. Because it is university mmetali njugu, sio njugu, utaweka kwa mfuko mtu asione. You can all go there and look at it, it is there. So those rumors have been sent.
Yes.
Please tell the people when they ask you to go there.
Is it among the projects?
Yes, it is among the projects. It's actually the second one we'll do after two according Ikonge. The market Ikonge Gari. Alafu we'll talk about SGR,
yes.
Ikonge, then we'll go to Kiabonyo.
You'll tell us about that.
Yes, I will.
Lakini hata hiyo kubolinga, it's well to talk about mheshimiwa wase Kisi National Polytechnic. Now that we're talking about TVETs and universities, we say institutions of higher learning. Is it going to be upgraded to a technical university? And if yes, when?
There is no plan to elevate it to a technical university. In fact, the reason why polytechnics or TVET institutions is to do what they were supposed to do outside the university. University in fact, we had the Nairobi Polytechnic, Kenya Polytechnic, which became TUK, Technical University of Kenya. So we already have a technical university of Kenya as our government, and if you want to go through that pathway, you can go. But in the ministry, last week or this week actually, a week after Saturday, this week I think on Wednesday, I inaugurated a technical team. Itakere go study a technical institution in Riyadh,
yes,
where we want to see whether we can make it a specific university for TVETs.
Yes. So
that abantu bagenda through TVETs, banyore pathway yokugenda through education system through that particular university, egochagotwara specific programs. Because program, university chokora program chons, chokora technical subjects, but also chokora education, chokora arts, chokora diplomacy, chokora all these other things. We want to see whether this particular one we can specifically design it to support abantu ba TVETs. Because in the TVET sector, to according reforms including recognition of prior learning. Now we can certify we can certify obera gali 3 weeks of checkiwa highway certificate because it wanyorete abantu bali qualified muna bono chi mechanic gose carpenter gose abantu bali qualified lakini batabwati formal papers ekera tenders chiko babono une university chitago apply because tabwati makaratasi. So we came up with the policy recognition of prior learning so that wanyora makaratasi na baro bakoraki ba participate. We also introduced dual training. Dual training needing abagosoma a university, a training college yabo 70% of the time, 30% of the time, 70% was spent as a industry. Or 50-50 depending because you that has helped us in such a way that take a code TVET institution that you very trained. Already trained yes, institution now what those skills.
Yes.
All right. We have also introduced industry in our institutions.
Yes.
Right. In other words, one Gusii Polytechnic, their best subject maybe is welding and something. They can have a garage there, so that abanali go town or trained as a garage na inumo irejuga general roja correct and stuff like that. So we are doing a lot in that sector to make sure that we make it available. We have also modularized the programs.
Yes.
Before, umwana alikuwa enda kusoma hata kusoma masonary. Obe kwa room wako momo ndo takekere kusoma masonary, hata yunga endo iko kwa exam kia grammar. So, pono grammar kia kuchokora ka ene kintu kulia takete chichuma chiria agachi nyumba. So we modularized things. Anyo utata kwa mason. Under 3 months, also masonary, or we certificate yao, or certified also Uchigai, correct. So, I think a mason, Taliero corrosi roof. Mundo corrosi roof, no mungana, mason, no munga. One of Mogofosio Munto Tageto mason, Nera at corrosi roof. So you train them for what they want. Pakora Buangovache Siko was our Konya KJ.
Yes.
That's why we have been able to raise the numbers from 297,000 in 2022 to 800,000 now, and we are moving towards 2 million. So
yes.
There's something that we are doing in that space,
yes.
and we don't want all our institutions, TVET,
yes.
Kobachi University, because we already have universities to offer those subjects.
Yes. Right. I want us to move to the next sector, lakini before tuanda mheshimiwa Nganchenbo wali ama boli abere abananchi iga mesha coaching hata ya kindly mbori bwana CS I think one comrade hata help has not been released to my institution. Tara name which institution is that, and he says exams are kicking off as from next week. What are the plans for the disbursement if you are able to? Alafu nale yo watanga you are at Gusii University which is doing well. Kindly ask Waziri what are the plans for Gusii University as much as it's doing well?
Bosiri, before Waziri respond.
Yes.
Just also reward linda karotu abegete nkwane yase metandao ko manya bategerere baito na barigerere ngando tware nkwane mono abari baro betinga bari ba waternete bwase okobanki mapeno na bakagweta marabolnari kuna how much do you owe them? Now, so there are over 340 something professionals who are involved in the entire process. Who else has not been paid?
Thank you. This was their help. There has been a lack of resources. Cover release, lakini I think I was at the coast. I interacted in Avarobo.
Yes.
I think it was in the month of either February or February or January. And the school fees at TVET is high. It was 105,000. I can Nairobi put your team together. Each principal now Bantoa TVET department to rationalize that fees to reduce 105,000 to 67,189. So when I get school fees here, TVET for the whole year is 67,189, but they are also entitled to do the MTI, judicial power. But I've talked to help and I've pushed, and about 2 or 3 weeks ago, some resources were released to the institution. So I need to know what that institution is and why they've not received, but some were released, and we continue working with help to ensure the universities fund to ensure that kichi released gochia sebare.
Yes.
The other
About Kisii
question,
University.
the Kisii University, we have a lot of plans for. That's why we came here, because some of you don't even know that this university is this good. The last time I came to go interview, I came to in fact, the next time,
yes, yes,
you can do the debate, whether it is governor, whether it is MCA, whether,
yes,
you can introduce this, let people talk,
yes,
whether it's president or whatever.
Yes.
Right. So Kisii University has done well, and that's why Navate is doing mentoring that other university. But the main thing that we want to do for this university is to introduce ecosia engineering. We are working towards ensuring that Kisii University, one of the first universities this side of the country, right, offer engineering. Kera University offer engineering around here. So that's what we are working on. I am already working on a cabinet memo to colleagues na kibit tororego sempato that institution so that it becomes the engineering department here university. That's one of the key support or changes that we want to do. The other thing we want to do is for them to support Kisii School and the schools around here in terms of mentoring them,
yes,
including partner na Kisii School, Korosi swimming pool or 2 around here, so that the 3 pathways where sports science, at least it can the facility swimming as well. So we have a number. We have already done an agreement with the Ministry of Housing. The president will be coming here to launch the hostels that are 840 bed capacity, but also there's a student village that they are going to do here. We want to make this university a model university, and Professor is here. He has done a very good job. I know a number of the other professors here and the other students. Yesterday we were talking about ensuring that a university kutoka kebwate amadeni kebwate chi problem chirichi university ndiche kolete chi atwalire kera, it becomes very hard ko konya egere etokonyera abana baito gai. So it is doing well, and as a government we are supporting it. So there are many programs that we want to improve on. The other partners we brought, we were here the other day with a team from Heri who have organized. There's an office there. There are many programs that they are doing as a center for research in this place. Yes. So a university is going to be central. I've already discussed Netimwe.
Yes.
Another thing we want to do is want them to lead the education conference in this place.
Yes.
Lead education sector ya Gusii. A depository, for example, and we discussed this again yesterday.
Yes.
Institution ya culture. As a you will understand the history of Gusii, a museum yetonero, so we want this university to be the one to lead that. So a number of programs to a university. Yes. And you know, in society, it is the university that solves the community's problems.
Yes.
Not the other way. So whatever problem we have, we'll bring it here. That's why we are here. I told them we have a problem, I'm going to be interviewed, I have no place. But there is a hall here. So they've solved our problem.
Yes.
Isn't it? And that's why they are
here. Okay with that.
Yes. Yes.
Now worry about abalimu ba Mankematem.
Abalimu ba Mankematem have not been paid. There was a bit of a challenge of the resources in Chiarengoro when we received the details of it. We pushed a supplementary, and it has been done. I think next week we'll be looking for the exchequer, and we apologize on behalf of the ministry that we have stayed for this long. I think the people who are paid are not the professionals. They paid maybe the casuals and the drivers and people like that, but the main bulk has not been paid, but it's going to be done. We now have the resources in
So
the budget.
how much do you?
I don't have the exact figure. It's with NEC, but we pushed it. It's in the supplementary. Yeah.
Thank you, Waziri. Abangi babungulira bali sinju bali under internship program nekiro bakulya ndi confirmation yobukuru nande murubiriki serikali bwate kwene kibuna abali mu junior school bali wajendera kuchandika.
It is not just junior school. There are teachers who are very to an internship.
Yes.
There was a court case recently that said that program was null and void and that they should be confirmed. As we speak, we are now working with Treasury to find the resources in order to confirm them. What had happened is we had planned to confirm the last 20,000 interns in this coming January.
Yeah.
You remember they were supposed to be, they had been interns for 1 year. By January they expected to be confirmed, but their internship was extended by 1 year. So they were going to be confirmed in January based on the budget, I think about 6 billion in the 2027 budget. It was in July. That 20,000 they'll be confirmed in that. One I say problem where is the next 24,000. The next 24,000 that we employed recently. Now we need to get resources for them to make over confirmed. When you combine the 20,000 and the 24,000, which is 44,000 intern teachers, the amount required is over 30 billion. And remember, I told you we are already at 29%, the main budget, because that is the whole budget. So we are looking for the resources. I think confirmed, but we are working towards a solution to that problem.
Now we go autonomy junior secondary schools.
That question is normally a hot potato. That question is a hot potato because the Presidential Working Party recommended that we have comprehensive schools. Comprehensive schools means we have schools from grade 1 to grade 9 are run under one administrative arrangement. Now, creating these grades grade 7, 8, and 9 as another independent institution is a bit of a problem in that space. So we have to have more discussions around it to see what is the best way. And I know that TSC with the ministry is working to see what is the main challenge so that we can solve that problem without the autonomy or whatever. So it's not yet a concluded. I conclude that issue. Is a hot potato on the table as we speak.
Yamano sana karonta ita komo yumto akubali maboli abere turwa se sector ito so ase enganinde wananchi na bangu mushimo baligereti sana se mitandao nara yawa kwa member mabaya wate waziri kwanira ngo wachite mu machoge borabu kwanira ngo ya Rio Kino na Kenya TTC. I hope nabokonya rakabo ko linga. Is there any plan about that? Karibu sana.
Mbia mwana Eric, waziri na wakwanira igoro yomoroberio mu bwatu moroberio ko nekina abalimu aba intern teachers and akana obarachi ba confirmed come next year after be extended for another 1 year bama ko confirmed. And still imbara about meant 24,000. Now inambe ya mentre and still moga ndete ko ligechibesa. Is there an surety na abalimu amba chikuba confirmed next year or about next year? Because our number get a commenter, then moment about Mubande and Bada Banticarite, what are confirmed. And number 2, what will Kimo to which is a Bunes recall what which is about because they are crying out and about Rock and the Bago to Wamaka Senga Kentambe. Probably can you answer that mission? Was there?
So Vincent, on that question, yeah, confirmation, we are working towards ensuring that our Uncle Bavare confirmed. We are looking for the resources.
Right.
And as I said, harmonize ko more efficient in our operation koranga ki, where can we get the resources that are required to go confirm? Because you see, there are two problems. As I said, because of the employment we gave to them, we're able to reduce the student teacher ratio from 1 to 45 to 1 to 29. And then we do maybe the 16,000 will reduce a little bit. I got to work towards the 1 to 25 international. So the choice but to have them. So the thing is, we have to look for resources go somewhere. I gotta confirm this. It is just a question of how do we stagger that process and how do we manage so that you can confirm them anyway. Onye tu ati chibes. Muna lata eba chibes inchiro 6 billion. Spago cha confirm bari 20. So we are looking for 23 point something billion for confirm aba. That is being done. There is a team as we speak working with the Treasury and TSC. I know there is a discussions here at an advanced stage to ask maybe for a period within which to do the confirmation.
Yes.
We'll still have to employ the 16,000, so we'll make a decision at that point. Chikova employed what terms and conditions, but we cannot employ them as interns because kotia nullify the process. You cannot employ them as interns.
Yes.
So we now have to put our heads together to a solution.
Emono sana tugende gusanga no waziri Julius Migos Ogamba maboli na mange sana kuri ase sector HCM kolende chinse chito nigo chikomyoka sana tunyara ko tokogendera ko yasoma no chegiga bakunyara ko bakubolia amange sana nemono kuri wasorongura gusia ko bolinga na itoro chegusi in terms of amangana education. I think mo ishimo nanyara ko bagakoerera kinacho komenta ekaroba ko kumanyimuna nigo togendere te okoleta amatangazo yiga kuri ase university ya Kisii iyo yanyara ko bagatwali bagakwaniki unango sanga tore na waziri na nigo tore AMS TV station abo chi radio gati abo Kisii Hot TV Etaya TV Kisii TV nabo igo Getembe TV ntari kubeba radio Vuna gati chinde chinyinge yare togendera gusanga no mu waziri na nchire bono tunyara ko batogo shift ya kasinga incho yo kwanire taro yo murai wensi ya Kenya iyo guchakali tukolia ankyo ekaro to guchunyara ko batukorawa no yo mintokora sensemo ya kabere. I think Matilda nabakunyara ko butra
Iga na negiro tukuliria itaro yo murai wense ya bwandete gukorekana cyangibere cyaitre ekanyara gusukirwa bosio ndake no naro konera ni kiagerete etari yiga ekasukirwa bosio na kubwa muno ekiro bono murai wense aguchikoja tofauti ki eranyare kurogana ase gusi kiagera kerasekero bakorera na bagendra kuigoro amange atanya guturuka.
Thank you, Matilda. As a Betare president, yarenge scheduled was in about 2 weeks ago. Lakini kaitilafiana ne program yae ende egasuki motwe. It was just rescheduled, not postponed or cancelled.
Okay.
That's why it's coming tomorrow. So that tuanze okoraki tuanze kuligereria amagendero. Etare yago chagusi. Netaro ya magendero. Etare ya magendero in the sense that is coming for a development tour.
Yes.
Kurigelinga magendrale Gusii, gose project chire Gusii, chakorekanire, gose nkaiche ikire, chiri chiasukire, chiri chitarasuka, nkebwena to korwa, elinde chi project chiri chatebete chikorwe chibe take off the ground. Yago chagocha maambia litukolia Sunday kurusa 9. Egende tangani agocha okora ne bus agocha koena na Shabana tera achete before na promised Shabana a bus ya veire njaru Nairobi rero about an hour ago njeka ga Bosoko yaikire nera agocha koena ne ngende tangani as a Shabana. So a promise ya megeti ya a bus atimiza kesho itakuwa na uliwao ya bus teyo na wago chabaligereri naende baralo sinakaletheki nero. It's not a toy, it's a bus. That's one. Number 2, in September 2025, aba gusimba chete State House. Ekarabaga in the State House, bagasaba president ibakorere ibintu gete Gusii. Egende kamo basabete inkelinga stadium yeito yabeireke. Nita kire toro selwe stadium era of international standard. Stadium ere nke kera era na very small plot. Next plot area ASK, agricultural show ASK, agricultural showground or something like that. Agricultural Society of Kenya. So tukagamba n'abantu ba Agricultural Society of Kenya baganjanga show ground yebe moved kurualia sere erwe nyatieko yes eru nyatieka so buli I think about 13 acres I go over about 5 acres or so
yes
by anda so buli mubura monene kidogo wakachuya egere show ground yetu naenda koreki ebe nene so tomorrow ekara iri akona ne bus you will break ground for the construction of the Gusii Stadium. It is scheduled to be completed by December this year.
Right.
Already, the contractor are on site. The chiefs were allocated, I think, about 900 million to complete a stadium. So, balwatanga stadium wete na wao cha mabinto basi yako na numu mpira no ako kidogo arora ninga ki ground yako wa broken so that this stadium wakaroki yagacho
timeline inisa inakorwa ngaba kabisa bako complete.
It's more than enough.
Right.
Karaptu alota banga talanta yali ko ira 60,000 people ngwa gachwere betiare abande batebete ngateko ono genda ali rugoro iri gali Ngong Road muligeri mororo ose talanta stadium nero rose takolete tiyo ikara tu rengi homa bega ali batebete ngateko betiare fo the current madaraka de was functioning at the state. It has been done. Kitui, it has been done. Right. The next madaraka day is going to be done in Wajir. The state of the stadium, it will be ready by that 1st of June. Because this is being done by the military, by the defense. So it will be done, it will be ready. So that is the position. So Mambia, those are the first two things. Monday morning, agocha wanza kurua se ikonge market neroro agocha launch. Ikonge market nero ne wate the resources have been released, have been allocated under housing. Kuruoro, he will talk about the SGR. Muma tenga ikonge garia SGR ya tageru to stage orro. So he'll confirm on Monday nga stage ne kortaki neroro will stay. Uruoro, he will come down to
but waziri stage yes GR nero ya taliberera sana kurwa saba na nchi we county ya Nyamira. So wait for the president to confirm.
You wait for the president to confirm and maybe please come there. Matoro na ikira se kara kunya kubereza mukunya kudoubt. Bereza mukunya kudoubt mucho. Muligere ocho pagacho
mwana nchi acho.
More usina koltek. Na inu media mucho because media inu wena to counter check.
Yes.
Don't take what I'm telling you for it. Check, counter check. Digirilia, kena mo so material budget. Digiri the drawing, digiri the redesign. Right. Mo check even the way karo monta ko batebia, pro monta ko na dinke mo check ngang ko tek kero. To kenda say university to ateo.
Yes.
It will be confirmed it is there. University is being done. Kiawenyo Ruiz Kurun Koros Were, Kuwait project area 1.4 billion as is Kuru 68 chair cross wa Nyamira.
Yes.
One of it no kwagacha chi hostel was dom as Kiawenyo. So they are doing it right there.
Yes.
At the same time. As Avana Valibare, I think about 1,000. Kuru Roto gende Nyamira Comprehensive School as a KMTC, to gende Nyamira Comprehensive School. Alonchi tumanya go chapaka asa chakology para kurugaiga bubaracho kitutu cha North atrimbo kigogi to role kwende market ya roroto amusabete karachi to the first time wa chitu kama soe market na to kama soe para na to le na rachons bicha we kuru ram kitutu cha North over 64 kilometers tumaya kwa nyanyakoe asi kurinde go chogora akabwata another launch of the market. Now the trip is designed for two things. Go checking even to be better promised. Kaibi akodreki kaibi ikire. Mbiri be take off, mbiri bitara take off. Then the public will have an opportunity.
Yes.
Maybe go sabe binto bi, That is the purpose of President Gocha saying. Ekera achire munajitokelezea. When you go to member of parliament, no good to nothing. Market paranera ya kwamira matuka mangi to correct. That has been going on in the country. So we'll do all that until Wednesday. Gocha tore paka asa gocha ko launch ko weka commission the hostels iga chire 840 maybe when he does Professor Noarali will ask for something. Kwenda tore Kisi Polytechnic, as there are other hostels being done. Ngochare cancer center gari.
Yes.
Maybe Zahiru will say cancer center is required. One equipment to mente he'll ask for something else when he is there.
Yes.
These things were asked for at some point. Enda toka okorwa. Tumenya korwa there are many things being done, housing Masimba, Toche Technical Training College, Keroka, if there is time. There is also hostels there. They have already broken ground. Nonare Ngerero, contractor Noare, once required 340. And then I think about the perimeter wall, like that. Ekaraba, I go to Kakigogi, for example. Ekarakolonche market. Did just behind there. But at the bus, somebody will say to Konyeba, you use the opportunity to thank you for a didn't go to that directive, rule. Then we understand the process, yes, yes. Directive, rule, Bonego Chikoba entered into the budget. Again, the Rupia MIS, yes, a carry, guess what, the project, yes, a carry make over budgeted for a Manago. So we'll do all that when paka South Mogirango. Tumenya kuira na paka egeti kienda kia suneka. Hasa iko chakoba lodge. Mama etege si egeti kia suneka ikia be the decommissioned. Decommissioning no danga egeti karake rusio ngiwe sana ndege chinen. Yes. Lakini kuira kia rengi chindege chinke. Yeah. Chia flying doctors, flying doctors or borderless doctors, there is a friend of mine here, brother, I had one to go lift to Kijabe hospital. You are one to go guy. A company beating a Katomurusia, name ambulance to Miripak Homa Bay. I got to know and or remolete Kijab. To come by the time when ambulance go to Kijab, maybe I go to Koma be Kijab because our ass to repeat a Jarengo. My thing I promise here, I get to Kuchako to airport Kisi. But I suggest this wrong. Palibus, Rungatokere, and I suggest Sunday or say Yangoso. A problem with Kabor. Tukateva Karatu Achete State House in September 2025. Tukateva Tukamotevinga Tutara Rosali and a young Kakonye Kuira Chitaka Kuira. Tigera Rosigua, Enyakaraki, Enyakobo, Lioli, Nairobi, Ntubuati, Kenyatta, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, Tukatuara and Wilson. So a Sunikanjara could stop the project in the Okaraki, Korosigua. Aganjana at Gato. Toyorosi Enyakonya, area 900 or 1,100 meters, 1.1 kilometers. It can take some, Chifoka 50H, it can take some good, up to maybe even 37. Right. Can do the work so that Tonyo. So we'll be there. Right. I launch. And then I wait and go out there and think about it. Nkeyo, Bunapotambe. So there are many projects.
Yes.
In terms of roads, the project I go check at currently it's 267 kilometers. Right. That has never happened in Gusii. 267. Some constituencies have 64, others have 75, others have none because they have Kubuli and the Balen Gowa. With the Kirimovo on the table, elected leaders and everybody else. It's 267. Go to Tolo check affordable housing. Affordable housing, Chire Gusii, Nyamira and Kisi, Chire at the total cost of 33 billion. That's a lot of money. I go to check here, and within this time, for example, a prisoner guy. 15, it's on 15 acres. To suggest the prison moved to 600 acres. 50 acres. Yaga chuo eyega ige town bagachi affordable housing. What does that do? It means we will have a project in town, the affordable housing, and another project in Nyanturago, Ikorosi prison. Okorosi prison, nekaro kumove abantu bali bakolenda basibwa. We come bagachire school. We come bagachire nyakitali. We come bagachire nyumba bagoraki bakomenya. Abantu bali gali we kabero renda ndaga. Prisoners ebara abantu bali boarding. It's a boarding school. Nei we ta abantu banda batanga kimo toletere prison diga abantu bache kutuita. Prisoners ebale
Boarding.
A boarding school basikire. So mbali ko chakosoka ba korekende gyonse and they come from all over. So it is an added advantage. Abantu batanga parate ye kwenda pako kateba that is very good. Gere parate ko thiki.
Tayo.
We get correct.
Erosigo.
We get rosigo. Elinde chika chiko. So sometimes ekara abantu wetu ba ko argue nitakire ga kitwatwara kidogo tu. You know, kimafikiria tu kidogo. So we'll have a project there that will bring abantu bali equal and it will bring life to that space. We get supermarket table, we get something ekolek kawaro. So that is another thing that is being done.
Yes.
It's the same thing here stadium. Kile stadium meko wa expanded iga. Adiro go narongo chukwaga kwaga chwere show. Even to be and so there are two projects, they become like two projects in one.
Right.
Yeah? So tu wanenge kere magendra gocha. These other things tu ara bitika kando kidogo. Very personal, very emotions, very maybe spirit, I don't know. But tura kora even tukurunga development.
Yes.
Care development is clear about what is happening.
Waziri, I want to bring in my colleagues bakoboli about the president Watara, but maboli aberoka kurwa sende. His Excellency William Ruto promised that Mogonga, Rio Kingdom Magenche Road could be complete. To date, it has not. Now, what the plan in the if you privy to that. Alafu na rokobolinga, are we receiving enough as compared to other regions? And I can compare to the other side of the Nyanza. Lo Nyanza katango moraia gocho uigore project is complete. Oendra kwa gichinse oyakoro ku makoli ogega. Andra gichinse katanga ntua gocha ko launch. So no Gusii to receive enough Korwa say president as compared to our Korwa Sinse.
It is true is coming to launch others, and others is coming to commission Jirejire complete. Njirabuna one of Keroka, I think the hospital Yavere, it's complete.
Yes.
It will be commissioned. You can't tell him that wait until it is finished, Manyagocha. So turaganya go tinga ko mistolege ntwalo cho kumobodi ke anse never as the process ye project ogaraki kwanza gara be a presidential directive ever designed ever ko say budget. So the earlier you ask for it, the sooner it would be completed. And we come and we able to follow. I have the list here.
Yes.
Age para at various stages.
Yes.
Right.
I will leave this with you.
Yes.
So that you can be able to answer that, gentlemen. They are all here.
Yes.
Para no chirega 267 at various stages of completion. Echinde chiairi, echinde chiasite, echinde chirase plan. Unawono when we were there, we asked them ipare yeto ya kuru Kaplong.
Yeah.
Paka Isbenia. Because in the Eroskur Kaplong, you go soon go again, you talk about Isbenia, to the double, they got to call. We want a complete, a comprehensive thing. So, whatever it can be done. But we'll need to design. We can work on research, ever designed, but PMA, but many want to bring about to compensated, and it starts from somewhere. Yamani Wachakawa, in reality. So, if we were there in September 2025, the budget cycle konyora yakodrik yarosi so pari itego to gera seba
budget.
A budget. So munta ute na lera tenga to ajite state house to kasabe para pari itera kora. If it is that day the everything pari ineje yagaju, it is in the process yokobekwa as a system ya serikali egere yagaju. Because a system ya serikali teringa system yao ya nyumba.
Right.
Nyumba mwetu na munta utenga tugule sukari lero. Pa esa hasta kwa kodrik. System is regarded that way. It goes through a long process, treasury, planning, and all that, design and everything else. So nchiro rochire complete, nchiro rochiko chawanza, na ndio tutahitaji na ndio muboli ebinde. Ebya wancha kutebi ate unaona school there are many that are completed. Yeah? Yes, like that.
Waziri na ndio wana totigara senseme yugo ya mangana ngite siasa netara yo mure bwense. Katokuli kurosorongo rwa Gusii mbali tayari abantu batari kumwarigani na mbali nseme ndi batari asale. Torera abantu bagotebe nseme serikali buna ebara senseme yo mure bwense singenjo bagendrete gukama. Imadoza no gendrete gukama senseme yao. And then another question is wakwanire chinsemo getena ka chinsemo nchiro wakunira na acha ende chinsemo chiri cha kitu cha north na acha ende south mugrango na atiri chinsemo chenya libali. Aso kuligiri kombara ikibali kuro chinsemo chwa kwanira. Probably on your no view as some of
it's not coming to Asabara Iwakum support book. Ekera this development is chiricha mwananchi. Right. Chiricha barai. Na mwananchi no mwananchi okay? Kenya. All that we are saying is abarai batakiri batoko egera basa vera abantu babo ibintu. For example nyo muraita mwanchiti. Omura yoyo tajeti William Ruto kurwe constituency yaye na abwata abantu banjiti William Ruto na abwata abantu otokoleteki samanjiti. Development iliye gocha igochera abantu bose. Okay. Ekera cancer center yaro setuga totebere se constituency ya Zaire. Oyo support William President. Na banyali bali chachibuka bakucha kwendo. No abanyali bali chachibuka kwendo mbaye bali batamwanjiti Ruto na nembara bakalete. So leaders mbatakiri ko teba ngantulu gusaba development digera tojiti. Right. Unaumiza watia kwa sababu watu ni wote para kera korosi weka kiro no kiro mondo waraki kweto andi na aro dirazi mitandao ni bindebi maswali ya mungu kubolia bantu barega abagendrete kunya ku kurwania abaheshimiwa bare elected abantu bayikiripa kasaba tenga uziga antu bwate kusina bahindi karibu ngabona muhindi to bwenda koba na Kenya ga constitution ni gotebeka role Kenyan. You are entitled to run and you can be elected anywhere. And tell guy guka. Umerumbaro, wagerembaro, kostimbagore teki, mbaro. Ekaru mheshimiwa buno ya letra magendero jali bali. Wagachire tutebe ibeno ke MTC.
Mheshimiwa Zaire.
Ibeno ke MTC awo chako yebuko ya Europe. Bantu kibako gendo kugurwa duor.
Abanyali bali.
So tiga to are kidogo tu yani to tuligeririe bintu buna bimene to koraki koba because development is not clan based. Ekara to are kab sabet girls ne president 3 or 4 weeks ago the student you kwani to rekara ko akora president vote of thanks muma de mwana kioleng umugusi kurugu Eve I think Eve Nyaboke or somebody and she spoke very well. Now imagine if as a minister of education, intervene kabisa with girls here nandi tindiko ya bese tigangekereri. Children in the country go to every school across. So as we are supporting career, we support the others. Because you don't know as a school man it's the same thing with development. Right. So we karansa ekono tebenga anchibanda abutindiko endoro tindu wanchira na borobu. No, President Nerewato Moyu and Nerewato Mogati. The law allows him to do a presidential directive. Whatever we want this to be done. We have factored into the budget. There you are not going there. Right. The people elected you, was sent you, was a minister. You are there to across the country. So right. I want us to think development. Siasa ni chichi, nendili andi gochi, nendi siasa ku last 5 years, ndia correct? Ni chichi. Every year serikali ni the budget. Right. This year, I thought the budget is it 4.3 or 4.4 trillion? 4.3. Yeah, I think 4.3.
Yeah, 4.3.
This year.
Yeah.
Oma otanga singe nchutanji te serikali yeyo, tutageti the 4.3 trillion. somebody else will use it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you have to go there, negotiate, which protect,
Yes.
That's what leadership is about. That's what development is about. In any event, Mundote or in leadership elected, we expected abantu bonse pimba kwaje. Lakini at the same time abantu bonse pimba wakaraki bao kwanga. Nini ndudu abudi chukura matuka mangi tutanya ku abantu mbara about to beka. Tutanya ku ruo zero. Yeri noti nga bonse pimba kwanga konyorole chokonyora kiri jake. So what I'm trying to say is development, like the president is coming for development. Na chacha siasa. Ene karago cha siasa mu maitu nako unako atindara muntu gocha ko manage biega almost to it because I've seen what he does. We were here before in 2021 2022 ko kara siasa. So siasa necheke gari nero ri kesi ya chitra soka mumanya bono siasa ya godri yazi tumai kwaza siasa lakini asabono iga this 4.2 trillion actually the other financial year 26 27 ero tonyore tutarage ndo chimboto so monto koteba nga only there for this time it is okay. It is okay because the development will be there in any event. As serikali comes to power on a manifesto.
All right.
Nera tu au neti to promise nga koleta toleke eka to cho so wachukura emoja otebi ke mwato tebe ti murako tokonya ora 70%. 70% teli exceeding expectation. Was a meeting expectation. So we will not be below expectation. That one I'm sure about. Ekiara to agodire fertilizer. Fertilizer karato gocha yarenge 6,000, 7,500. Right now it's 2,500. All of us, very more farmers. According to the simia, your fertilizer achire kenda koleki kenda go. It's a fact. And because of that, mavuna kodreki achire go. Again, the gigasha. NHIF only had 3 million subscribers. How many? 3 million. It means only 3 million people were covered by insurance. Abandon baro roba what private insurance. Muna aba waziria mawakili mu what private insurance. Meaning the rest of the Kenyans, close to 40 million, did not have insurance cover. One noiga by 30 million, but what they cover. Even if that cover is weak, it is still a cover. Is it an insurance cover? Keroko nyagita liwa kwa ruadu. Abantu akume kerere ngasha atili kwa ragasi mbaliba pa buate insurance ya vera either private or zili ya NHIF. Omuntu liko nyotoku atikindipi. Onyori insurance kumwaka nirekara ajiri nyagita. Ote do ndenga nakwa ateneza mu atenga kendengele kwa ragasi.
But waziri to arodi raba
kwa rodi renjini mbwate my experience. Maybe one did not work because even systems fail. Yeah? Even systems fail, maybe one, but that doesn't mean it's not working.
Right.
Yeah, because it is working. There are people going to hospitals and they are being treated. In fact, yes, it means it is working. In fact, the minute they saying a death, it means it means they've treated somebody without being paid. So it is working. Tochi chipara. We came to Kanyora chipara. Chikua mete. Easiest in that hotel we are understand ne ngong susu. Ngong susua. It me akerenga ya renge itenin. 5 years. Chikiro mitereng isato.
3 kilometers.
Chatigarete. Efungue. Ekara tuacha tukanyora budget ko support. Pa kore into ko securitization. Securitization ekaleta 175 billion shillings. A ministry ekakora hisabu ekanyora 90% of the roads echikuwa mete because of amounts less than 50 million, which added up to 175 billion. Chibesi ichi akanero chipara chiri cheiguiru sikuisi kira soko genda konyori para nendete kwa gacho limo ateba nga ngong min mausa mit tiyo ogendo robo no igabantu bang nambali bachete kwere the state house abantu baitete bare limate tibira kitambiro mu ateba no ne wilbaro tekola tiyo. It is not true. It is being done.
Waziri
SGR
just a minute waziri Linda Singencho Can literally limit yake go to etale ya Gusii.
No, I'm giving an example because kuna chipara, when we are talking about roads,
yes,
we are not just talking about Kisii roads. I've told you in Kisii, there are 267 kilometers of roads, and I'll give you the list. It is
fair enough, Waziri. Bono ekeroko, just to pick it up from us, mwale ase libolio, my colleague kuboli gore regional balancing. Na unga njira singenche birombuatani tu maboli atatu ase okobwatania. A fair observation, Waziri. Munabone tare yomurai igwense gochakira litukuri ankyo. Ekeroko ligereria chinse magocha gutarira nibinta koigorera. Andaka abantu kurikize mu chinde nabo bale iranane nga kibono ntuga o machikoranga gato eteria. Of course practically te kunyalikana atari chinse mu chonsi Gusii yase ikereke. Lakini for fairness, kerokuri what will be doing in North Mugrango, West Mugrango, Nyalibali Masaba, a pattern narrow politically. Na compared na simu nabono kituto cha South asa gocha ko inspect chiro ya Nyakwe you already actually very under construction na gukwanira abantu ukoligeria seven nabono bomachoge borabu the same thing apart from maybe commissioning Kenyenye electricity substation, lakini ukoligeria the kind of projects agocha ko launch seven na South Mugrango, North Mugrango, Nyalibali Chacha and the rest. Abandi no bako machikoranga bone serikali are we really part of it na libodi tangani Waziri ili yakabere gatie mirobeli yako chako legal commission and launching ngamona amangana yechi chiro morobeli serikali kurunga economic stimulus program munaboni chiro ya Nyakoe amoni chinde in terms of utility yechi project and impact aso mwananchi timete serikali ngoligelie yere gento nike kogera assessment yeito to akorere chichire chinyinge cyagachirwa sorongorwa Gusii a percentage yenene yaba oncherelia mbali go chitumeka. You can look at the chiro for example ya daraja mbili even in Nyakoe nyene. Most of them have been reduced to Kobachi store. So in terms of really economic stimulus una a program where is it changing the matrix? Then asengi njutayari kwenye wakwanire Waziri goro ya siasa bekelimo lakini ndara bekelio ekero kurigireria a project ne ya cancer center ya gocha kwenye rokobaga kurigireria liboli na ya gatatu na Gusii stadium for example ngomu gweka no o a cancer center asa serikali area itete it is on recording that there was a loan agreement between National Treasury among Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa in Seymour Governor Renko Ngwae to a tune of about 977 million. Na one serikali nchabe gatichibe also ase murobeli yilindo cancer center inyara ko bage kwera libolio omotegereri no murigereria kwebolia serikali ne bwatu murobeli kuringoria okobwate ne kurwa so mwaka oyo muguchia so yonde elinde ko minimize wastage is the same thing in Gusii stadium ikagere stadium yararo sigwe yatagurwa na ndaba no kutagurwere nende rosi regardless. It doesn't matter who did what, whether it's the county government or the national government. Serikali meant to work in harmony and unity. Is there a plan to ensure that there is no wastage at any level by initiating projects comprehensively and back home area? Last level siri. Bono mboli tu liboli ya siasa Waziri. Waziri bagote banga egio toge isekururoche kegote ibinge mamba ne ruarete. Nabo kwegena mamba ni rwalta kera tomanyitiroche egioto kemanyitaroche mutanga niyo oyugo ko RT birandi ko karansete igago tebanga ewiri baro ya bachokire ebintu bigo iteka ko Nairobi ko bigo chaka Gusiga na matori ikikera gero mu Gusii bege na mangana ekikera berero cha mune mama.
Karibu sana Waziri.
A very interesting analogy. First analogy giotone mamba mambe timedinga ningo wose no lio rueto wose na regioto ekare kera jam none of those already no on the board egioto kene kolethek wose mambe ne kolethek. So now it will depend on who you want to believe na inche we are now coming because there are things we are doing. We have carried some things and they have reached. basi ya rudi Nairobi ya koreki ya ikira onye wilbaro njabo chogete ananga ya twaiko somewhere Narok tali university ya kwamite ko 2012 yikonyole kere aroro tara erositi twaerosiri no yakoreki no ere, so it has not dropped. Chikwende chwate abachi market they exist, whether they are being used or not. The fact is that they exist. Chiarosi neserekali. The usage is a different story which we need to research. Social scientists probably need to do something but find out. Kara tua kwa gachire nyumbe ngia itali gotua inkyo takirite ko bera asiriego gotua kosina customers batara ko gendoro. If that is the case, what can we do? That's a different story, because the reason why cheap market chiri kwa gachu na singenjonga abangina bako ni bintu ase mugaso bawat nyumba chubusabi bawat asbako rora bana babo abako konke abane kara mwana aroro so mungino rubatu mano ko ni bindibia. So we decided to do a decent place as per cholera ebiasa. If they are not being used, to find out inkide there is a different thing, which is a different problem, which again is saying we can now to find out the problem is our job. Again, the next time we do not repeat. Thank you. Now, all money comes from government. Ekere stadium yarosiu yatagoiru. Now kueleza the reason that was not a stadium yalikuwa gachuteli of international standard. Ita host nonye maybe when we are doing international games, take over allowed to host some teams. Serikali ya jira tablet katoro sibono stadium eroboro uronge. The disadvantage of the cost benefit analysis, what we are losing vis-a-vis what we will get overrides that. That's what we are doing. The loans that we are talking about, the cancer center, for example.
Yes.
Yes, you've taken maybe, did you say 900 million? I don't know how much.
It was, I think it was
977 million. 977 million. Did it finish it? Yeah, called the cancer center Nero.
No,
did we build on top of it? So, a project here already required. Maybe there's a problem here, mismanagement or theft or whatever.
Right.
The government cannot say, because we are not going to do it. Because the government's job is to offer services to the public. So we need a cancer center. It has to be done. A issue which can be dealt with as a secondary issue. Who took what we didn't do, what we were supposed to do to reduce wastage in future. So what I'm just trying to say is that it is one government, and we don't like that wastage. The government has a system you go track, but once I can't tell you the genesis or the conclusion or even whether the money was taken, because sometimes the agreement lakini kwanya oranga mbara confirm or mbara kora all the things chiata kero korwegere eloni yebe facilitated. For example, when we came to the office, kingo nyagorire recap memos documents nkanyore program neroro ya Hungary ya bumachoge is bumachoge borabu ase amachata kirikwa gachoko mukubo water project almost 10 million euro. Ihalenga at an advanced stage, lakini nobody followed it, they dropped. So we were able, Eric, my colleague, to revive that process.
Yes.
Right now, it is being followed. So sometimes, like now that loan you are saying, it might have been signed initially, but nothing has been done, or it has never been received because certain things were not done. So that's what is happening in these things. And we, the difference between this government, Nyachai, and any other previous government that we've had is the bigness of the dreams Chair William Ruto, who is the president, and his courage to do things that seemingly look impossible. Why are you doing this? Like we are cleaning Nairobi River, something that has never been done. But in the West, yakori. But you montango chote Nairobi River nga kuikamukoreki kuikamuendere ko ni bintu ga sacha. But every gatoro sick and they give a clean and so the things we are doing even in Gusii here, even you know, even relocating the prison. I mean, nobody has ever thought in a to relocate the prison. Ajita Kabuli inki prison near Kore town. Inki Togo Kerabasibu, a town that we enjoy now and well no more Bali or Rombako, which can't kido. So what I'm trying to say is we are now doing things chicken chikororekana and people are innovative. The last one is the infrastructure fund. 5 trillion. Which once a cohera, we will have our own money or project. Many people didn't believe that it can be done. So we're benefiting from it as Gusii. NSSF, same thing, because we were paying the same amount. I think maybe 100, 200,000, we were paying 1,700. Abangina wakana, 5,000, wakana 500. We changed that so that we can save more, and it is happening. Gusii gaiga, even if we are going to launch, go project in various constituencies. I have told you, most of them, we were in State House in September 2025 to Achieto. Some people didn't come. Those ones who were there,
Yes.
So the ones that have not been done, we now need to more. That's why we are going to the market. We want somebody to stand, and we have identified south, so that he can make a recommendation. In the project.
Why is it that mujumbe wenseme itawe sabera?
Mujumbe bono iratoka Monday 30 nakiwa. Mujumbe is independent as a man, independent. What do you do? That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
There's a lot more that goes into these things.
Yes.
Enga unekero ulimwao.
Yes.
Ubwate ndagara. Ndagara sometimes tiruisa na bana ba bonse. Telo. Ito ganga mwana lunch kare yaro sigo abana barengo 7 batatu mbagore teke. Abasaba mbata benga endagara tigato tikirimo ulio tayari chakuli marwa na ndithisa ini. They will eat. So you need to be there so that nayo correct. Onyo? That's why natebanga leaders are elected to support abantu, the community, because the community, as you are speaking there, so you support, you don't stay away, so that we can do these things.
Yes.
I know the argument narrow wrong aquí. Yes. Kutoletuen taxpayers and gave it the are very distributed fairly, but that's not the reality because in Bisa ini. Correct. On the table. That's why it is important to any cabinet minister aseme. Sekara tenga school gate neta kereo konyo. Hachina tebanga nyambalia. Nebuate ehole ya kwamire for so long. Ita kiri 105 million. Yebeke na waruba koreki. Onye tuli on that table. Nobody is going to talk about them.
So I must be there in Chakonyara Magendro.
Yani, Magendro naro. You will get, but to push for it, you have to be there. You have to follow. Ask Boli Mwismu on the West. You have to follow. Nene karaya etigu. We go what the interest you make sure Montara yeteli kuruo. Garambaro robale manada monyana da kora teyo kwanyore ateli. Chiparere nga chateli ukuru kitutu kurubo kitutu all these years kwanyore chinde chachire asa nga kera maybe monteyo le ko what. So let us agree nga karato kora magendero turabeka siasa kando.
Yamono sana waziri singinchie bironga nchirembo ya maboli yaberege gama kwa baminto idakememo keroto kuchunya kwa bato okora arayo batanga bakuri emirimo kuruma choga ba affordable housing mbanyara kwa bakogoma wese ba kwemurunga niyo takanwa. And also it goes on kubolinga, why is it that Orongoro Gusii Gusii na Nyamira affordable houses nchiraba complete na kwa launched as like other areas una Nairobi na Nyeri Nyanza cyanya kwa bachiko iguruboni yabanto bamenyete. Number 2 naraburi kubuli about transfer of teachers atanga babwato boba saba asaba alimu bagotumwe especially abasubati chinsemo chiri chitabwati fear of umurema. What could you comment about that?
Okay. Teankwa ndramana affordable housing. You know, affordable housing emanated kuruya say levy. Housing levy.
Right.
When you're it.
Yes.
Many people bakairwa nimba etageta. Gusii was one of them. Gusii, we did not want affordable housing. And I remember the president kept on saying, Gusii needs affordable housing kubwa Kenya engima because it was squeezed to take those houses chikogenda uchigoro. So we came late to accept affordable housing. That's why we have lagged behind. So he proceeded to Gatigara Magega. That's why we have lagged behind.
Yes.
But we will catch up. Better late than
Never.
we will catch up. The other one
The
of
transfer.
the transfer Walimu. You know, when you sign the letter
Yes.
of employment, it says you can work. You
Yes.
can work anywhere. So what we normally do,
Yes.
and across the country, near secure. Recently, a science fair, ye ministry, ye school, we were doing it in Garissa. 2 weeks before that, Nganza Gusii Minga, Garissa era unsafe, Rusie program hiyo reiru asanga asangao. Ngarangelia bantu 20 in Kabuli is Garissa more unsafe than anywhere else. When the Garissa tell unsafe, continue with ensuring security Nero. We did that fair. Egaheta via abana bakaruo kirumu takafla abana mbaro batanya kwenda Garissa batamaita paka bantu bavulinga abantu bali kulinga Garissa ne desert kwenye mogote batogote bunabiri. So it is important for people kumanyanga ki astay bakenya baito batakoletiki batamenyeti. So again tukiro ongelinga se kere problem yako we ensure nga security ne nero just across the country. But where there is a clear fear or clear indication,
yes.
A system nero roti esiego tumia kuba support.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe
Right.
Matilda, one question and then one so that we wind up pressing in churches.
Muhimu sana waziri na nikire serikali yabwate ikirenga use ebwate ikirenga gyo kwane kebuna mirobelio singo kole kanere asichinjira chekerero tubwate umurobelio na citizen tubwate umurobelio mengi i procurement na mwananda amandi lakini yatoka nga witra city system washiga the very system chibwana takonya nande kwalibonga nande chipeza cha city witra city system washiga andate serikali inakira chikone kibuna kero umurobelio wasekera toko genda the digital way bado resources nko batire nkobe botire bia nabo iko asense mo yende okanere kuna okogenda chisa bali cyo kugenda state house andake buna kogenda kubwati amagendera usebwe sabira amagendera yiga and don't you think nga igati yabaraye buna bono ababunge bachorere bali batari kogenda state house chinse mo cyabo ngo tigara kire magiga nande na kiserikali ranyare kwene kibuna balancing neraro na sinse mo yende no ligetie ose no robiriti ko kore mirimo nabaraye bale Gusii andake abo kuna boniga tukone no nyomo waziri bachiseme mukuru usaba waziri babere bechiseme abakoro bonsi andake at end point no nyale witawa gukora imirimo na bravo
About this swali ya igare iranilion sit.
I might forget.
Okay.
Let me answer the one of e-citizen EGP. Eventually, we move to the electronic system. Nande in any system, go to arere challenges ya kerego answer. I know you are talking about e-citizen ikiaramba alikanga 6.3 billion incha better withdrawn. That is an investigation going on kera konyora e-citizen itaraba owned na serikali yaja. It is when this administration came to power that we moved the e-citizen from private hands to be owned now by the government and be controlled by the government. So that's a separate thing. But since the e-citizen platform was created, initially it had only 300 services. And it used to collect, I think, about 30 or so million shillings. We are now at over 22,000 services, as we are collecting close over 1 billion shillings a day.
Yes.
So it's a much better system
Yes.
compared to manual, notwithstanding the challenges. And as you use the system, you continue to protect, to work on it. Yeah, you protect now. Even now with AI, you very easy to manage. I think this is what rinde kwa boli ko sento koregas na leaders wa Gusii. One of the most important things Gusii arakole no kora no kuba united. Kuba amo so that we are able to develop the county or Gusii itubunetake Gusii na Nyamira.
Yes.
We will work with anybody who wants to work with us of like mind. Again, to tutakole no kero mundao denga aiga sole tori nyumba karuororo njutokole gasi ya uchiro chimata. Unaona ndo muwaziri wa serikali, umeona serikali ya William Ruto nembe karuo inchuga igatuganya serikali ngocha kubaleta. Jibuno muntu bwato bongo na jete school. Ikitingo kora. Ikiagara tokora areta. Kiara nonda tindu chiande. Kara kwa letters negotiate at that point. Lakini bono iga to kondusia sengolete asinde.
Yes.
Ikiara nindoche the advantages.
Yes.
Onyanta lengo bisigalia nanga ting upgraded chiskuru 9 from 1963 chiskuru inye national schools.
Yes.
In 1 year I've upgraded 9 to make 13.
Yes.
So nonye kwa lengo jitindo jinga matunu nakolete na lengo ya ayola kuchondetere kanda koraki ndavera. I am a student of history. Ne lawyer. Onko make a decision chiri based on evidence. Ekarankuligi evidence yane past present nanyina bantu babolire birogo na Bagusii baitu babolire birogo ebyo binene. Mkorenge nimwe tunganya China abolire kero. Acha akolite gasi na Kenyatta. He was the most powerful provincial commissioner of Kenyatta. Agacha kabe minister, paka minister ya finance. Agatena chikura, akabua. Agatuara epatiaye. Hatuara wa MP bae paka bande balingi paka usentaita. Hatuara chibe shaye. Agatena chikura kabere. Abagusii tukasoma igayaye twensi. Talibo. Muamuruji State House. Ask yourself why. Mheshimiwa the late Raila, may his soul rest in peace. He tried 25 years. Are very well known. The last one was supported by everybody in the government. Paka machika gachinchu, paka kirigentu gakorwa, paka matera gachinchu. Agatema kiri ngotama heterera Kenya. 5 times. Okomenta ya AU maybe 6 times. Now the president. That's over 25 years. So in Japan mweke ngeke rangoranjeri wango bwana. No mundo ulio kumu support. Ekarale mkuu wa Kenya agabu. Ana support montonde ekarale siko abu. Image ya eno nyensobo ngakiko chikoba nonye mwabo nyomba ngakiko chikoba. So there are many questions that I ask myself that I make a decision. And I think that mwera bule maswali moko genda busai kwara bule swali ngikirindi kirabai.
Yes.
Kakirabe egere wa balance kidogo. I'm not saying muntu takora tabuli kero. Waninji na bodi na azite kubodi 2007. Saa zingine yale wika chinsa bune chikwa nyora nezibiri ngende hall wachikontangaza. Isi miacha toracha karate kidogo. Karate kidogo. Ebintu yakora. So chikora taligendo kere rahisi. Iko tingwanje kyara wona ninje ndaza serikali kuruzia. Tingwanje kubulia abantu baito. Mbate binga tikatogende omuguoyo. Asentaruchi asenduchi gezunde kidogo. In any event, ndora tuara candidates. Tell you, etubwata abantu bashoire interest. Ekarage ya abantu bacha kuba candidates. Tokore assessment, tokora serious debate, tochiga. Mundatene na talibo atutebie vision yaye atutebie manifesto yaye talibo tentumaye gotebia abantu baitu togenda atoroche omonto nabwata amaono tinkorwa ase ndo omonto nchiete skuru nyimuke busa igo ng'a bono niga iga nkorete ki korenda tiga ntigara nintigara nchibweka igo we have to have same ideas.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Thank you so much, Waziri. Yes, asinge ncho chin sanko manyigono mo director nga chamnyo kire. In 30 seconds kindly gare waziri anyore chinga ki aliga nimo gusia setaro mo raiwen sekreto okora.
Biyasana waziri togo chukora lina senge nchose chiachire. Amangana yonsi okoya kwana okobora se serikali, that's the first question. Number 2, ingikere gakorwa somo gusi iriko nyara kwana ke nango twara barubu ambuwate abatabwati aino mugusi ingiro cheke wenta gokorwa inde batwara ubu amate kobesa igeyemo uno mugusi ko nyara gosirana. And number 3, the last question ngo mwate mate ko ligiye kerweke na oyo karumu waziri machogu boniga obo waziri ngo ikatore ngakibone bunge ko buna kirento ko buna oyo disco uroche naende no irane muri gikero cyo governor na machogu kam 2027.
Thank you so much.
Because of the numbers. Ekero kurigereria chikura omwesiga William Ruto anyolta sawa chori bonena gwetete kura soron korwa Gusii kisi na Nyamira. Kisi is around 135,000, Nyamira around 60 something thousand. Chikocha around 198,000.
No, 233.
In
2022.
233.
233.
Ekero okurigereria nechinga kechi muna siasa ya Gusii moving forward to 2027 chikure ekyo munyare ko chinyora for William Ruto. Then number 2 okurigereria omubaro w'abantu batagete kura kurwa sorongo rwa Gusii. In Kisii County we are talking about over 200,000. Kero okurigereria Nyamira against the registered voters we are talking about 150,000 batagete chikura kurwa sorongo rwa Gusii. Bono igamuna bali mutanganite gesa kwa soko rigeria umwesike William Samoei Ruto chikura. Are you concerned muna omubaro munene bwa Gusii bari wesoke gwake kura na inde nkimurigete gokorera inde gonchoreria ebicheyo?
Karibu sana waziri.
Right. So kwambo li swali lia waseni nche tubwatara na machogo na chikura.
Yeah.
Naende. First of all, ebinte bingo kwana. Onye kwantegera the 2022 because the 2021 karatu aleo campaign I said the same things. Kabata binaligerere manifesto ya Kenya Kwanza yondo jinge manifesto inawe tokonya. I was speaking the same way. I have not changed and I have been to have proved right. Wali tu alenga bakatu aleo tangi gente kana turo chikira para konya bantu. Turuchi what is happening. So I'm not speaking like this as saying enjonda as a serikali. Ni ndwa as a serikali rero. I'll say the same things. Tingo teba nga bono nga singi njona sokire ebintu byasalekire uzewi libaro yabo choke. That's not, it's not true. It cannot be right.
All right.
We come tekara we cope muntu we kene at all times. So maybe 70% of the time. Maybe you can't be 100%, again 70% of the time. So I'm saying this because I believe in the philosophy of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda for this country, including the fact that we're going to move paka first world during our lifetime.
Yes.
It is possible because it has been done elsewhere. Njoma idina so mete Kenya anga so mpaka ngumbu. Ekana liko na sekrasi ime na basongo. We could debate the same things. Lakini baroba ku first world, ku third world. Tabe kubula manda bono ngibakalete kibatugwet. So if we come together to do the things we can move to first world.
Right.
There's no question about it.
Right.
Umaite kanaro lenge president Kenya ga olikuru kunga Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. Alo tabanga siasa mbaya, maisha mbaya. It is true. That time mnalo kunyara ku understand. Bona na understanding of politics dictates kira almost kiregendo. So kera ukora siasa irembe, maisha yako itakuwa mbaya because labda utaleta maendeleo kwenu. The votes that we got, I believe strongly that this time in 2027, we will probably double those votes for William Ruto. as a team. Ekiagera ririo nye twalingi siku. Twali kumnyokigwa. William Ruto na ina alitambaja stwali ngerero endege ya aligoje kara aligoje kigogi ukani ungata kolandi orre kyari ne school instructions chirule nga alandi orro policeman yata yono yomo kali deputy president ya Kenya ono yake karari president na abantu bali bonspi bale ko como fight that time now bara this time bara outside tinto pathway yabo I can't see.
Then we didn't have someone having interest Korusi.
You know, I've explained to you to be a student of history. You can have an interest.
Right.
There's no problem. But to get to that place, analysis will be done. Now, so we'll talk, we'll debate. Now, we'll talk.
Yes.
Pathway.
Yes.
Kayirin kaitogo togo onye ne chikura tota ito tuare ire to chuko kara negotiation na chirocho. That's a different thing. So to be frank na bantu to tayo ngaki tikado cha motonyo ale kabire to chuko negotiate gendo it mapema. Lakini tali ko Bumbasa watu atiu unaenda mahali fulani. You know, I'm Minister for Education. Ekatoa kore transition ya grade 9 to grade 10. Tukaramwa clueless vandamba manyeti abana ngakipota barabe ku school boronge and we are cleaning the mess of these people.
Right.
Kama ngonyaro opposition luminary kuligire message nga waziri unafanya kazi mzuri niko na NIS hebu nisaidie aende shule fulani ngendo kubulia school yonye abana bakore onye system ya failure. It is not true. So so going forward,
yes.
Tokore siasa yekene tunaba Gusii. Kero Gusii no muntu mungai. Nende manyaiga. Vincent.
Yes.
Gusii are everywhere. Into today everywhere. Oganda Tana River, the Secretary General ya Kupet, Gusii. Oganda Lam, Gusii bakartaki baror. Oganda asnago te Kapsabet Gusii bakar Turkana na Gusii baror. Everywhere we are there. Ita kertoro shubo obo sana bantobo.
Yes.
Na bantobo. Dobo su eso le tinga bono intue. Etu begete gaiga dobuate gentu to you have to negotiate mutuare la team.
Yes.
It's the same thing we have to do as a community. To tebe ngaki what is our interest as a community. Ekere interest yego cha to yakora without these differences.
All right.
Kera wana tuarule umete tuarule to kora difference baka clan. Wale ronyi wetu mubate clan. Mome oje sub clan. Mome ode mundu teri sub clan ito. More constituency moya me correct a bit of a problem. So to iguane ngaki tunaba Gusii.
Right.
To korega siamo to buaterane to konya bantu baito to leta magandro because you can remain very far behind. Nabali ngoko soma turubu na ono korubogere for a long time karaba buate that opposition politics. Mbanyole te magendro. Ekaraba so broad based. Naliba tenga tumeona maendeleo ya ukweli. Para chikorosiwe and all that is adi mchikorosiwe airport ya rosiwe and all that they can see when you twist the politics unego benefit yaba abantu. It may not be the ideal situation but it is the reality like gira ground. So tu natura chocho business natura leaders we katote yo andu wete kana aki ndote kuba irase oro sana muno tote mondonga ganya 2027 umwana uri kwenda klasi grade 10 motei ganya wano 2027 ujaga so grade 10 2027 kali grade 9.
All right.
We kaso ebono mugendere ko move toward that
right. Waziri, just the last question.
Yes.
On your own view ingoromo na ngalibo Gusii.
What is that?
Yeah. Who is the Gusii spokesman? Are you the Gusii spokesman?
What is that?
Ngo kwana kwa niaba yo Gusii kara muko negotiate.
Nakura kwana kwa miaba yo Gusii kara Gusii atali amago tayo ngayendo kwa negende. You must first ensure that you have the support ya bantu bonse. Naendo kwa monogelibu Gusii. It is not something ukwebekera. negintu gigocha naturally. Yani community leadership comes naturally. Abantu bakaba grafted towards you naturally. Bonsi. Tali babwate division. Ekara konyora anytime mokonyora nga bonsi mbako supported. Bono totebe injury njek. Ekara ba okwana muntu kubuli alizwa. Everybody knows nga bana bakalete. Lakini bakwana muntu question igomba bakalete. Bai. Tonye elders babatala ega guru sigisi. Ekara ba okwana barangili mukutano. Yukana. Bono gaiga, bono geria torangeli. Bono geria torangeli ngotojo mukutano. You call us because you see, yes, we can with that respect here, yes, because you cannot buy it. Right. You cannot buy orangeli bantu bakega, whatever ngozi get nere gaiga, kamesankara ubike. It has to be something. It has to grow. Jidina mono geri musi. Right. No. Okay. I'm not. The day gocha, it come on its own.
So you want to say your own view to what mono geri?
No, my view, you know, I'm a government leader,
all right.
So I'm championing the development of Gusii from government.
All right.
That is enough.
All right.
Yes.
Yamono sana. Thank you so much. Yono Waziri Julius Migos Ogamba nyara kabakago sangamo na intwera kinende nganchira seka ke gamwa yida kaibere osisato. Nyara kabakago kwana no mugusia senchira abene waziri kwa niaba ya bali bonse bakoligerete because I'm sure this last interview okora before mura ibwensa nyara kabakago cha sorongora osi ankyo. Nkira nyara kabakago tiyo mugusi bwensi asabeta oyole Gusii kisi ya Nyamira abagona mbali bara nyara kabako bwatia development troy mura ibwensi kura chinsema.
Biamono Eric, biamono Matilda, Nyacha and Vincent for the invitation. Nta tote yawa Gusii wa mintonga une president ya Kenya gocha Gusii. Iga gocha une president yensengima. Tosoke, tomo welcome buya, tomo shagrie buya. Bokongo bonde to bwate kiana ere president yeito, tomo tebi. Kiera to eso, solution. Njenda ite kuba sawanga moche, mubasa como rabuna partisan muna monto okando nere president yetu neroro igabon. So moche to beamo to bwaterane to bwatichi program ichos project ichos chiachire elinde elio na chirichinde torata katomente tumubuli atomente na komenta nayo injengo basabanga mwanche tokore gasiamo una Gusii bonsi elinde elio tonyarkore tamagenderero ase Gusii echa okonya abana beito mwete nona abana tubwate emiaka igenderete kogenda so ntoko batereninga ganya ebintu gete biche kwa happen biche kokore kane gere tumanye kubasukia so ase nginju yayo ebintu bito kora bionse amagendera yonse togosaba egasi yonse uro tokora ase nginju ntwanchi tabantu beito elina ntwanchi tokubasabere ebintu elinde eli abantu beito bakoreki banyore ebintu byabo batakere gutwara so njengo basabanga moche na amani tokore tumu welcome buyo mogeni gawo kora ento makero kwa elimbia mona ento muinu beti ngacha koreki acherane naende togendero kore gasi na gasi to kora nere mucho gutumia ko makinga ki omo president yotu achorete ebintu biria to tebete na korete epanda to tebete ngokonyare na konyete amagendera tete ngoretare na retete muchu ali chinga kichino chokubulia maswali yayo na komaki kera nonyina mangana siasa chikura ne chino inumura achorumura umurai na nyasaye nere nakorete naro ngokonyare bali abangito gokonya so igento nkubasabanga tobeamo twanchane none kara tukwana samangana yamagendero twakwana no munoyo oyomo ntukurwana gose ntukonya kuvurutana yageranga none amagendero ari gocha kwanyora tari okorekana ebintu mheshimiwa tokoreire William Ruto ase Gusii gaiga nkorerekana bire naendo toira maskani na atwanchete naendo tebire bwika mwenyene nga kwenda nyuma ama mbele kando na kando hawachani na sisi kwa hivyo tuko na yeye na nyinyi ningependa mkue na yeye hiyo ndio maombi yangu tafadhali hii program inaanza kesho wote mkuje tuendelee na welcome mheshimiwa wetu ambao ni mpendo William Samoei Ruto president of Kenya. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki.
Thank you so much waziri asinge nchukanya chinga kigo sangamo na intwe narega gatango muraibwense nero mucho mumuliara toeresera mange buno mu Gusii ntomoganeti sana twanyara kwa batoko igwa kugani kwao toteme sana stranyare ere ankyo kande nere kalanyore chinga kina bagusangamo na intwe masemo kolenda sibono nganchire ngwa kirenga mbie muno asinge nchukwanya ore chinga kiko sanga muno ntuko tuwachage tange chinsa gosense munenu so ikachinga kichiga cyaragire chinsa incho butko bwarero twanyara ko batokubwatera namo n'abaminto Vincent Onyancha kurwa Kisi TV Matilda Obaiwa kurwa Getembe TV naboigo oyo mintonya chae kurwa se station ye radio actually nyara ko bakawakilisha abategereri be radio radio Vuna naboigo etimu ingi matonyara ko batokubwatera na kurwa chi camera n'aba director baito Bonsi kurwa chi station naboigo balitole na barabugaiga. And I want also to mention inganto bwata live audience abanyara ko bagotegerera bakora muno vice chancellor we University ya Kisi Professor Nathan Ogechi amo nabanda bange kurwa as Ministry Education aboigo as University iga nabiga sorongorwa gusi karabo ngwa kambia uchi se technical team yanyara ko bagakone kibuna amaliyo ni chibi cyagwe kera sinchira yabene kegma cheni wonkoro kwa Eric Bosire amungo konyore buna interview yonye kwanyorwa kana bakonyara ko bakonyora si mitandao yonsi iki station ikinanyara ko bango kumanya ntali kweba Kisi Hot TV ibo yanyara ko bari koletera gwetera asensemo yo mtandao chenkoro kwa Eric Bosire to kuanilia woligele brobia. Thank you so much Waziri.
Thank you.
Asante sana.
Thank
you so much.
Matilda. Thank you. Well done. Thank you, Nyajai.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Asante sana.
Vince, you're the politician. Thank you.
Korwa sensemo iye mesa yo bonchorolia goika semesa ye chigosori ninko manyayo nsia senchera iyo boikiranu kera litukolia Jumamosi botuko ime yetaya e weekendi ochakera chinsa iberene chinsa inye na inche Sara Nyarangi ontita inyora eyenere taya TV oborabu bwa Gusii.
Etaya TV oborabu bwa Gusii.
Biamono oyo minto Eric Bosire daktari korwali ase University ya Kisi aseba mubwato mwaziri bwechisemi Migos Ogamba amonish nyumba chinde choboralia ekeroba abeire gochakerense monenusu weikabono igange chinsa inye chabono botuko bakwanira mange igoro yetaro yumuraibwense Dr. William Ruto abwankyo naboigo bakwanira mange aliarengete sekta yechisemi ase ense ya Kenya amango mwachumuligirelia boigo na yoboko ya bwatia sensemo ya Facebook ya itubuneta ya TV kiagera twayabekira senchira yobekira nukigema kubwaterana n'abaminto Ruto'S na baigo Jackson Nyakoe igobono igotokubera ningambe mono asenkwana yeye maseyemo kurwale chinsemo chia Kisi University nganchira bono mwanchumuligirelia ankomanye alia korekire asenchira yobekirano asenchira yobekirano rero litikulia Jumamosi alia baliki baitu basangira mona intwe tukumanye asenchira yobekirano nere taye weekendi chinsa inye asenchira yobekirano kwira nande bono mwanchumuligirelia ngosangi amange alia nyare ko bakago koreka asimaragoba ya rero. Ncheni konkoro kwa Sara Nyarangi ontita Ruto'S na sensemo ya transmission Evalino Sero na rulingi kwa ligania mangana ya maya senchira yubekira numa kwa wati Joseph ara sensemo ye kamera tiga yoto ya chaka maya koruase county ya Nyamira. Mugavana we county ya Nyamira Amos Nyaribo nigo aenekeire abananchi bensemo ya Kerenyo amagenderero alia ikiranirie na alia roberetie asa matukali bosio ka ukwana n'abakristo chinga kiekira nase umuchango ase kanisa yegi Adventista ya Ikonge imeye wadi ya Kerenyo ebunge ya North Mogirango nigo nonyana bo kwanira mange nabo igo kwanire taro y'umuraibwense Dr. William Ruto uchakali tukulia ankyo ase asebaigo abamochirie bali bakomochecheria n'oburai bwaye ase kaunti ya Nyamira. Murikito Felix Nyakundi nero gutuchakiria maiya chinsainye ase nchira y'obwagare.
Nechinga kia baraya baikirana se kanisa yikonge aso muchango bugosirama agacho ya kanisa ye mugabana nyalibo gakoira chinga kichaye gukwanera magenderero ari ikiranire imeye kaunti ya Nyamira anena monense meje iga yegwadi ya Kerenyo
yoko nyatenya etali lakini wiki wachapana dorama yoko ari wote 200 million abe kwe fani Nyamira kile enyaleta lendo arama yoko sibara ni maite Kerenyo kwa kuleta kento koleti ikonge dokuleti lakini wana sibara che ikonge chisali muni alliance chikobata chimungu chibokurati mungu chose nguluchile nachibe kwa moro alibole abana gasomdore digital army mwako eta twansine chikuru 210 ngira bana bachiko igora chikuru chose bi chianasai chiwata anda bana basomdore kwa computer tuarete erongori eri skulu for nursery school abantu bana koigonya
Sense muyende gavana kimumnyaribo ni gakwanera bo igetaro y'umurai bwense gocha igorogongo rwa Gusii kagukwanere gati yari abasaba y'umurai rutara ikiranie gati yabigeta senike gari y'umurero egati yayanda manke
Marche and Nyamira town and the environs. Naja to Yone, I check in Rasmus with the Power to Calvary. Naja, we get a one MTC, Tuesday. And then the two are saving one of you, when they are foundation Rias. This is I came to Julia, I came to Julia, isn't it? Yeah.
Nanyinabo siasa che kaunti ya Nyamira tititigiri magega mugabana nyalibo kakogane bali bako mwakesegi ase bintu bitari byo umane gutigari mulioka ase kirina manga ikiranire erebuno mugabana bwe kaunti ya Nyamira kagusaba bananchi komochora sentunde yende asobochore bonene borobosio omwaka 2027
bara roko uko nero rano tebana ki Nyamira kinne ke oganda nje wa de gabate roba ne bitobiganda nase njota na gocha bako bomo to wete kamera kene ke okenda Nyamira elindone bingibiganda ya to wandara
Ngorpotireta TV kurega sinse mu Kikonge cyotoka ime yegwadi ya Kerenye bunge ya North Mugrange County ya Nyamira Inchem Felix Nyakundi
Chikanisa wetana kianda korwa se district ya Isicha inse ya Nyamira conference nigo litukolia lero basa sima asobwamo ase sabato yoboteli asegeti yesukuru yoboroso ya Nyangoge ewodi ya kiabanyorwe bunge ya Burabu county ya Nyamira abwa somorandia bwe district yo Henry Nyamwanda Junior aganire chikwaya kuigeka matera abo ase Biblia eliotibe Rusia sobo ase kerenga kyoboteli bwa Nyasaye egati yabarai abo baikira naso gosasimoko nigo bakwanire taro y'umurai bwense asorwango rwa Gusii asebabagania barai ko Gusii go chamo na kumwaregania nabaigo kugania emeroberio gochakigwa gokorwa elia Banyamira na barabuo bagokera matunda ya serikali rabisi asamangu muri kitogero Peter na mangi
Nasegetike skuru yoboroso ya Nyangoge yegotoka se wodi ya Kiabonyeru abwase chikanisa gwetani kianda chabachigoikerana ase sabato yoboteli Pastor Henry Nyamwanda Junior nomorandi we district yeiga
amatera nararusite saitani igoro igare gotera ekwayerie nene agatama gochansa igogero mokorra matera ndagoterwa korukwa yense omonyene saitani lakini abatore kanisa tikatoteme ko motogi Yesu ra Nyasaye karotoko chikosoburo utubwa Nyasaye totero gotera kwa musane mano yengondi bina tuateba
lakini akaro kwirule nga Nyasaye okorera guikonyara ugukiriete chinsa ukiriti time okorere nyasaye onchirinde yonse uranyara gogokora
matera negentekia naende nabare amaya lakini ekero anywereire sana naenda bogosangia gosokia abantu kurwase ekanisa
nonyina baigati yabarai babagwikirana nigo babagukwanira igoro yetaro yomorai bwense Daktari William Samoei Ruto asorogongo rwa Gusii
moroche bintaga ndata gukora jinsema wao moroche mnakoria bogere bono mambia rumwe kubeka jitafauti kando tora ligel na mo bage bintu bye mo manye bintu byako igora ne bintu moganetie bigia so that morete bintu byoko igoro gwoka mateba ngamagendera abeire
ndota gitechiram eramwe weta kurunyaramba eso kiabonyo State University eso mukumoni eramwe neta kere kurtombe gaso auche polytechnic aria rekurbuyetai ne ende join kuritibo join kiabonyo. So what we are saying, like if I can say from this side of north, even the ebiso korwa, that could be good. So ekara gocha ntubwende kumarama no mugambi aro umuntu ikara store mugambi no mugambi
ya baro bono etokigori one time etokigori two time egento no kero gotoko ba 20 two time asenge njitote totoete omuntu oli tomoitivedi erinda tokarire bintebi otama sokoma dai one time binde bitakora
omogeni gagochanga takumukururia mwebererie atokorera magendero murabone paranere kurutinga yagenda yakikubwata magombo nero ntotagete kwera eri ekonya abantu negende bakwanire igoro yegetange
buna gochicha inubono no goitaba erinda beke chi project chinyinga
gatoretera magendero naende ntubuna DCP party ntokonyara ko mupinga gekogara Kenya niga etu nyimberi yaitense yonse
ekero mura yagocha gotorentere ebinto otobwendete kumusangiria
achinga kechecho mo chief principal Charles Omosa kurwase skuru ya Nyakeore hai nigabaga gotogie getambero kyo mujumbe we bunge ya West Mogirango mowakili Steve Mogaka asogosira chisemi ase bunge ya West Mogirango
omujumbe ito Steve Mogaka li chumbe thank you so much o support ri skuru chonsi specifically Nyakeore nanga 1 million ya gerire ga support ya amasomo ase Nyakeore na ande naruete pass already has dispersed money yokorosie pass no ojire school account in the next 2 months Nyakeore jetu ale pass so mochumbe is really investing a lot as a school chons cha West Mogirango by giving bursaries kwa gacheviras and other developments. He is doing it very well.
Kuripotelia eta television kurwase chinseme chiga cha Nyangoge yego toka se wodi ya kiabonyerwa se bunge ya bara wimeye kaunti ya Nyamira ilietaliana igonkoro kwa Ogero Peter.
Abarai ao nigo bagendrete wesokia na komwarika ni murai bwense asetaro yaye asorongo rwa Gusii abwankyo yokoligia ekerogo kyo babunge bwa kitutu cha South Patrick Lumumba niga atebire taro murai bwense nigera konya koreta magenderero asaburiria bananchi wesokia sobonge elio komwarigania oyo minto Brighton Makoli otwaleganiro roboturu asubwagale
okwana na baliki bamangana nigo Patrick Lumumba nyalirega kuboria bagetutu bonsi anene korwa sebunge kitutu cha South Wesokia na kumwarigani murai bwense abu ankyo.
President yetu ya Kenya Mheshimiwa Dr. William Samoei Ruto na chave orogonguru rwa Gusii wansera mambi Jumapili agwansa safari nene ya magendero agusii muna entu abantu babu gitutu cha South mumante na amagendera ito na abamna airanire nyuma
komendani go anyalirega kuboria buna siasa nitakire kubekwa ensemo anene kero murai bwensa gutarira sorogongo rwa Gusii
safari ya maendeleo bonto tiga mangana aria siasa mna mangana gete ntuna bagusii abantu abangaini abantu bakwirigeria
aseboigo atebiruna Gusii nikamanyire buno monto kobeko marembe asere akurigireria amagenderero ali murai bwense akoreta
amanya na ntuna abantu twanjete omurembe ntubwati amangana ukabila egento tagete abana baitu basome abangina baitu banyori biashara abantu baitu bamatatu banyori chipara chingia bakomnyokera bijana bitu binyori chipara chingia emegongo yabunikire chipara chimbe chire kitutu cha South
ase chinga kichicho nigo Lumumba atebiruna etaro yomurai bwense nigerengete koreta magendero awao
ene tua ere purely development ikiaroche na kira constituency na bwato mupango amagendera guchiko igororo igonje nata tukulia abantu baito na ndoza ko abantu to gwaka siasa kurumambe paka maroba. At the end of the day wikatumanya na ngaki uchumi wetu kama Kisii County uko namna gani.
Ayanaro abwate kochi asabasae asibo igaba boli kubwata chikura sobonge gekogera ikurane rera leta moncheria since ya Kenya.
Umemaliza shule, unataka ajira, unataka maisha mazuri, unataka barabara mzuri. Hii maneno mengine mtu akwambie upige kelele ama ufanye fujo ni ya nini? Vijana wetu mukae imara. Sisi kama watu wa Kisii na Kitutu Chache South, vijana wetu nataka on Monday muonyeshe ile inaitwa maturity. Na muende mshike kadi. Hapana kaa kwa mtandao. Mtandao utafanya mabadiliko Kenya. Muende mshike kadi. Alafu hiyo ndio kadi mtatumia kubafanya mabadiliko yote mnataka. Kama huna kadi, hakuna maendeleo. Manake serikali huingizwa na kura. Sisi ni demokrasia katika Afrika.
Lucas Nyaleru noyo ligeti kolie kerogo kyobo MCA ase wodi ya Kitutu Central.
Tobaito baribare asensemo riende igotware ko basabanga moto wa maskani.
Asensemo ya magendero Nyaleru nigonera semeretuna.
Paranchiroro twasabira samatuka mange twanyore libaga yogocha kwariga ni umugambi atoya magendera itokorera.
Mweli oye nigo aburirie abantu bonsi kobeke tabauti cyabo ensemo.
Baito timoto mekanjire nde yons 40 furu asegenjo ngosabatora magendero. Ikaramo korra bogere abantu bonsi bakogendora se president yere gabakobeka difference cyabo kando basaba magendero. Ekero to kurigerere ja sondo sitwe president ya chire ke gotiga mayor. Intwe igatotagete ko chaka gosaria asengenjo nganto bwate oyo itoko boria. Ntobwati segi nonde bwens tiga kiro montao ni chingini chiaye.
Nguliboteri getasen geta television idariane Brighton Makoli.
Egati yabamenyi korwase wodi yabo Maribai bunge yabo Nchali county ya Kisii nigemambia ya lero besokia na kweroserie para ya gesero wikaikoba kubwatekana nebirengo byaye bibe okwana neta TV nigo ba momochiro mu MC w'ichinseme cyo dismasterisa asekeria buna obeire ga kubaumbia asigi kabono nonya nabo nigo ba musabire kubarigereria elyo kwene kyabuna epare iju ya rosiwe asibirengo bibwenerete
tobwata matanga aga iga mwaka getakwete etwarora tosoke toche so maina bananchi toleme pare etochandete epare enturu kwano sobolimo etokwane pare sobo maine
yenkumeti narigereria kerengo chikoranko choro muntu nokorera kwa narira buoya paka natuga maze akaranko nyora nkubune kama gorigoro riaye na nera ete chikurankonye yenkumeti abangina baito ga babunekire abamura baito babunekire chipigipigi chiaerire bono ero nimba konyara gokora
ntwaena netekero go togaka chikura mogako yaga tusabe kura tukaranga ki yati gatwa kero mogako yakonya abantu obo maena bwa mangana njengo chana sinyunga nkigego cha basabarai abarai go togo choru asengenjo yogokorera abana inchi baito mbaumia buna bono epareye yangire complete ripi abantu bachete bagonte biaya goko borie kerogeke otare gwanja otokonye njera tokorosie pareye abantu ba minto na arigirie njera na kwanire na barabu banjire totiche pareye bono ntaite gotebaiga intunto bwati segi no mo MC oregeti intunto bwati segi no mo MC oregeti egento totaite mo MC oregeti tigakorera abana inchi egasi abana inchi epasari arore chitaracha arore bitacho akonye mechierie ndere metaka egere kina kiegento twachorere to mo MCA
Dickson yabayo ogotobwatisi intunera toroje sai
Mwancho marigiria yarengete chigosori ekeombe getenenete nkoyo FKF nigo kiagendereirio moroberio bokorwa amaigerio ase abaigerio abo barengete ko bachikoch ase kirenga kyogokini birengo bienko yasa matukari bosio anene asorogongo rwa Gusii korengana na baraiba FKF orosagia rwa Kisii nigamegeria yo abaretira amababwatani 30 ekerobono araiko moelio rituko lia Jumanne no moroberio ogenderere tase skuru yoboroso yagetembe ase kaunti ya Kisii.
Kwanza kwa majina ninajulikana kama Light Trade Maindo Yori ambaye ni technical director wa Kisii FKF Kisii branch. Actually tuko hapa kwa sababu ya FKF coaching course ambayo imeorganize na federation yetu ya Kisii ikishirikiana na national office. Aim ya kukua hapa ni ile kuelimisha makocha kwamba lazima wakuwe na ujuaji kulingana na mambo ya coaching.
Kwa majina naitwa Steve Biko, member executive Kisii branch. So naweza sema kwamba leo tumefika hapa sababu tuko na coaching course ambao ni siku ya pili. And I'm glad kwamba hii federation yetu imefanya mzuri sababu inataka kuelimisha vijana wetu ndio tukue na coaches wengi kwa kaunti yetu ya Kisii. So kwa hao makoches wetu ile tutawaambia ni motisha, tunawapatia morale kwamba hapa nje kuna vitu mingi sana, kuna pressure, mpata watie bidii. Coaching inalipa siku hizi, lakini mwanzo lazima ukue na passion. So kongole branch yetu ya Kisii, alafu pia na national office kwa hii mikakati ambao wanaendelea kufanya na waendelee kufanya hivyo kila wakati. Asante.
Sir Florence Nyamunte, I represent women in Kisii County. We appreciate our national office for giving us this opportunity to have CAFD in our branch. I welcome all those participating today. Our passion in this and this can pay. I thank you, my FKF chairman, even though he's not around, ni mgonjwa, tunamuombea. And the rest are coming, so I wish you the best.
Majina ni Awolo Mondi, coach educator kutoka kwa federation. Nashukuru sana kwamba the federation leadership ya Kisii County may take into consideration the importance of grassroots soccer, and the grassroots soccer can only be improved if we have qualified coaches kwa ground. The football iko na dynamics mingi and it keeps on changing very fast, and every moment there is a change. It's important that the coaches are informed na waka adapt to the new changes. So tuko hapa, we have about 30 coaches who are actually involved in the county leagues and in the academies within Kisii, and I think in the near future they are going to adapt to the system at the technical department, which is meant to improve the grassroots soccer na ndio pia iboost chances zetu za Harambee Stars ku improve. Otherwise, I'm so grateful to the guys around, the TD, the technical department for this noble cause. God bless you.
Ase bimenano bya FKF ebyo bigenderete boigo bigosiro na Mozart nigo chitimu ao chibege tomo kyabo kweligeria tigiti yogosoase quarter final taska nigo banyore to bubuye gole ya Maseno tekarobaga soletina Kariobangi Sharks Police FC bakayengesa BB Bread boigo na kwenyorera libaga ase quarters itukulia lera segetigia Wanguru county ya Kirinyaga nigo Shabana wetero mugosole Brian Michira bayengesa Kuta collection egole ya mo ase noti na kwenyorera boigo tigiti ya quarter final.
Nadhani first of all congratulations to BB Bread, ni team poa. I think like why wamekuwa successful because I think they are so united, ndio wapata performance yao. So I think the only thing ambapo tumewashindia new experience, we had a plan to score early goal and then we maintain. So I think sisi tumecheza kama kuna kucheza kama cup na kucheza kama league. So I think also pia some young players kwa team yetu, they didn't understand that. That's why I was like correcting them. Na unajua pia kwa mpira hauwezi ongea pole pole. Unajua damu imechemka, so lazima kidogo shout, but all in all ni una shout tu ya 3 points. Yes. Each game tunafuatilizia because unajua hatukuanza vizuri especially kwa league. Right now tunaanza kupata momentum yetu na yeah, we are trying each and every game kwa league tusipoteze, and also kwa cup. Whatever happens, but we believe in this 2-1 inshallah Mungu atatusaidia na tutashinda.
Naweza sema kwa mchezo wa leo umekuwa nzuri sana, na ukicheza against top teams ni moment tu kidogo switch off bao, na ndio imefanyika leo. Nadhani ukiangalia Police for their last couple of games, hao ndio wako na best defense kwa league, so ina show that si bahati wako na best defense kwa league, and second half ilikuwa na good plan to it, but ndio hivyo result haijakuwa vile tunataka. Focus kwa sasa inarudi kwa ligi, na hapo ndio tuko, na hopefully tena next year turudi Mozart tupambane tena.
Nigo togothebia team Shabana congratulations na ndebo tambe Shabana nigo tuli bobe. Fernando Luis Rosa ojo manyakana tamono na Fernandinho nigaro mogosolia umaiburwa bwense ya Brazil na nigo arengo okogosolia klabu kia Manchester City ekiwe kogosolia seligi NNA ya England EPL nigo agosoletie klabu ekyo gosagosoletie klabu ekyo koraso mwaka wa 2013 oiko mwaka wa 2022 asabwete bikombe 13 gatia bo bitano bya EPL mogosolia oyo gwikira bono igabwate miaka 40 na nigo akurite kogosorio mwaka wa 2025 asobe igabwirite klabu gya Shakhtar Donetsk ebikombe bitano na kemo byense ya Ukraine Murikito Franklin Mayunga ne sabari yaye asobeime.
Fernando Luis Rosa ni gatutsirikinye murtinga tano mwaka wa Real mikano tano melondrina yotoka ense ya Brazil kirabana nigo abwate emyaka 40 aniga utansi tibiteme mwana bakitane bere na kianda yire chibuti sano nuguta ekomi aniga kosore dibagale mo defensive midfielder ase egeti ego amakante erita Fernandinho anne mono ekiraren kosore club ke Manchester City kosore se league NNA England EPL Fernandinho nigo atlagete kosore enko ya se club ya Atletico Paranaense amona mosara serita Jadsona yo bachitna ndi kumerana nere se club ya Shakhtar Donetsk na bigo Diego Carlos kare se club kinga wakotere bali kabere kusarana apa asamambrana ya division entangani ya Brazil na baigo Libertadores de Americana umwaka wachibere na isano akasora chinko yo embarangitane bere na ibere akanyanse chigori kumelanya na kurabo akagana se club ya Shakhtar Donetsk aliswa pound million isano na ibere ezoni ya entangani se club ikyo Ngasore chinko emeranga toto nanya ati chinko emeranga berneseto echeli yo na baigo kunyanse chigori seto chioka Shakhtar bakaba buwe ba Super Cup korende finale yo Fernandinho nigatanyerete konya gosoria akosora chinko emeranga bernesano cheli gesino makabchubere nesano nemo chubere nesano nebere na akora libaya kabera se club ya Dinamo Kiev yakote baga litangani asema merena Ukraine Cup na baigo Ukraine na Super Cup Itariki 15 mutinga tana kabero mwaka w'ikibere na isana sto akanyase sigosari ya mambrana yo fa Super Cup akosara ni club ya Dinamo Kiev enko yo yarete makare gore masemo na kwena miss penalty asikuru abo Shakhtar Donetsk ya yato which penalty isano ase isato Shakhtar bakabanya ngoba yo fa Cup aso wewe chigore bere asemo bakosara ni club kora jamana se club ikorwa Werder Bremen aikaba entuna yo moero ekombe kyo kurkereta yo fa Cup na ochencha chokorokereta UEFA Europa League akasora chinko ya merangene na ibere na konyonse chigori 10 asezoni makabchubere na sanesto chirubere na kianda esezoni abarite bakaba yango be league yo makabchubere na kianda chirubere na 10 maiga ya konyonse chigori nye asinko ya merangene na nye cha kasorete echare che league na chinko ya merangene na kianda chionsi komentarana na konyonse chigori isano na isato ase owamo akasora goika ezoni wakachubere na 13 na konyonse chigore merangito nemo asiko ememo na merangitano to na nye echo agasorete Serikisa nemo mutinga tano remo makachubere na 13 Fernandinho akaba mosara we club ke Manchester City asipond chimilo na merangito na nye na akaba ekonda yemya kene agachake enko ya intangani ya Premier League omwako yo ya seriki 19 mutinga tano gatato makachubere na 13 akosara ni club kana United na kanyaro wechigorinye ase enoti Serikibera akosara si final ya League Cup akosara ni club ya Sunderland na bakawa nyango mamera na yo na maga kanyaro we wechigore soto ase emo Fernandinho ni akanyate club kiwa nemano na bakawa nyango be Ligue ya England sentunda ya gato ya resuni wakawichubere ni 13 chibere na 12 maga ya konyansi chigore seto na be konya konyansia ose chiasis asinto ne seto ase chinko embranga to chago sorete che ezone yo ko watikana na oso kwa turi kura se club kyo ngo fera ninyo airetibwa liko sera sebuno mo defensive midfielder ase club kyo ngo watikana ye myake menge ye gete ase club kyo ngo Manchester City ba mogorte rodre kura se club ya Atletico Madrid richo konya na nere ko sera se ribagelyo serike meronge bere mutinyo kabero makabuchu bere na meronge bere na ibere moro kia Pep Guardiola karale fera ninyo ko mu captain we club kyo ngo watikana no kunga kwa mo sera David Silva na ochake kosore ntangani bino captain makosore ni club ya Tottenham Hotspur akanyara uwibole masenoti mamera ye League Cup finali Manchester City bakobore ekombe kya gatano kya ligi ya England na ikabe ekombe kya kane ase club kyo oigetangani karera bino mo captain sire komelebero makoyo akarare bino nigare chiko kortaya kurase club kya Manchester City atsomwero wesene yo na kaela me club ya Atletico Paranense asaltagete sabare ya kosere asoma kabuchubere na merangebere na ibere terkisa nesto omotinyo ogotano narimo
sebiminano bya
agachake kosere intangani finali a 2022 Copa Libertadores korende bagekorwa ne club ya Flamengo egorea mo ase enoti nigo baigo abwerete club kyo ekombe ya kabere nawe ekombe kikato kama merane aparana state championships asuma kabuchubere na merangebere nesto na boma kabuchubere na merangebere nanya na baiga yekonda kuikomairo nigarita eti koro kosere enkoyo serike merangebere manje kominarimo umwaka buchubere na merangebere na isano Finaninya nigarengo mosoro timu ya Brazil kuru mwaka buchubere na seto uko mwaka buchubere na 19 asana siti chigore seto chioka asiko emerange 5 na kiana echi agasorete nego abwate family asabwato mwana yomo omomura asireta Davi oyobrete sariki seto manjinga to mwaka buchubere na 10 na mwana munyaruka asireta Mariana yobrete kemerange bere na sanesto mutimo tangani mwaka buchubere na 15 na ibere korwa itachi sare somo sare wiki ninche Franklin Mayunga.
Biamono yono mulikito Franklin Mayunga somogosori abwe wiki na abundo chino ntoko yakolera maya senchiro yobekiranu chabutokire chideke 35 na isato igoro chinsenye chabono botuke taye weekend Jumamosi botuko ngakere biamono asibali bonsi twabwatera na SMS ya mangana maye bakorwa na Evalina Osero asoko yaregania asenchira endonge kegima na bali mwensi mwatuligereire korwa twagachagete wikabono iga igotukore ningambia mono ya bene ndo chakoro kwa Evalina Mora kurwalia kisi Central SDA Church agonta ina tuligiriti asemara goba yabono Kefa Marisa kurwali chinsama cha ugembo nera gote bana watetia maya senchira yubekiranu kegima na mwensi bali mwaligiriti asemara goba yabono nigotokore neringambi ya mono asukwegena na gocholiketa seni gieta TV asenchire ndonge kegima gendera koba eta TV amatukonsi ni chinga kichonsi asemero beliende ya ekobwatia ase TV yao mwanchu muligereria tetukolera bo asebono ekero mokoti Joseph akonginyoria mambia ekelisia egetagativu agonta ino akare kigima kwaleganiretie amange gochakera chinsa kianda wika chinsa 12 nenusu chia mogoroba igobano mambia ekelisia egetagativu na bante birimba inyoria mobaisa komo cha kobwatia asenchira yobekirano Ruth Aluda na erato baterana komo koro asense moyende ya transmission Valino Sero na baliki baito bonsi tokwera ringambia mono ya bene twara boligereria borobia no botuko borobia kolende konyoriwa una Jackson Nyakoe nero no are asensema ya digital kwene kianga okobekire onsi bunago koreka asenchira engikirano kegima edereta TV obarabu bagusi incheni gonkoro kwa Sara Nyarangi ontita